Okay, welcome guys, welcome. Here we are. We're on YouTube. We are live. I just started the stream and it was still had everything diverting back into Twitch, but we are now onto YouTube. We'll just double check that we have a connection. We do have a connection, so we're up and ready to go. So there won't be anyone here just yet. We'll have to wait a little bit of time for that one to come through. I don't know exactly what to show in this particular session. I'm going to be here for probably about 3 hours, I would guess. And like, there's a lot we can do. We can basically start another game. I can sort of try to do like a quick run using like a super combatant. I don't know, anything. We can do anything at all, really. I don't know if I want to just keep on going with I might even, like, I have already put up like a 1.5 hour video that I recorded yesterday, which I was going to then sort of have like as a bit of a primer. But now that I can actually do it live like this, I think it's this is a good opportunity for me to be able to put some content out there where people actually are asking questions, and I can then sort of answer the questions. I particularly want these, like, I'm going to be doing a few of these now. I mean, certainly up into the lead up of the game launching, where I'm hoping to make it so that it's approachable for new players. So with that in mind, do we play a super combatant game and just be done with it? Almost like where you just have like one unit, and that's like, and you don't worry too much about the others. The other thing is, do we go back to one of the old favourites and do a run where we're using something like Ulm, where it's a fairly easy run, for new players to actually understand the game, or something maybe a bit in the middle, or another one of the new factions. I don't know. Sort of be open to whatever. Now with these, I love this that they've got these different map types now. It makes such a big difference. I think I might still just go back to No Man's Land in through here. Hi William, how are you going? You're saying, is this one legal? Yes, it is. It's funny, the chain of events was I started streaming, and so I was going for probably about 20 minutes, I think, or half an hour or something, and it was great. And then there must have been some questions asked on Discord if people are allowed to stream. And if I'd had approval to be able to put up videos, but I hadn't had approval to do live streaming. I assumed it was the same deal, so same thing. So then there was a bit of everyone was a bit unsure as to what to do. So I always want to err on the side of safety. So I thought, oh, well, I'll stop streaming because maybe that is something different. And I did read some comments in the beta forum, because I was told, look, go to the beta forum and see what it says, and it did. You could read it one of two ways. But anyway, I thought I'd better err on the side of safety. So, but then after that, like literally probably within 10 minutes of that, there was clarification that I was allowed to stream. So, but by that stage, I'd already started on another stream on Twitch. So I thought, like, I'll let it go, and then we'll come back a bit later. So yes, this one is legal. It is. I really do want this, as I said before, just to be something where if you want to see something in the game, sing out. That's really what this is all about. And we'll just get started. I'm thinking, I don't know whether to choose for just one of these stock standard easy ones, or to go somewhere else with it. I really don't mind. I mean, we could even just play random and just see what we get. And if it's sort of too difficult, we give it a miss. Something like along those lines. I think we might play this No Man's Land. So you can only start in the east and west edges. When I play this one, I'd prefer to actually turn off the east-west wraparound as well. I'm going to be playing with just all land nations, because I think it's an easier way to explain the game. So get everything across to you guys. Essentially, we've got different sorts of maps, so we can have 4 or more small caves, or random, where it sort of can snake across the map. One large cave that all connects. You've got a circle cave where the different entrance points comes in from different angles of the map. 2 different caves. Almost wish that this could be random as well. As to picking one particular layout. It's pretty cool. So Donald Leonard is saying, I followed your awesome dragon build for the first game. That was pretty good. Yeah, I was thinking of doing something similar again, because it does 2 things. Well, it shows you how easy it can be to get into the game, is on one side, but the other thing is it does actually then give you bad habits, because those sorts of pretenders don't last very long, and you've got to be lucky to be able to actually get through to win a game with one of those without your game just destroying itself. Vandalist is saying the black tile under the underground category means no underground. Yes, that's right. This first one is no underground, so none. So basically, it will then just stop the underground from being created. I did wonder if this was going to screw up old maps. No, it doesn't actually. What happens is the old maps. How does it work? You don't have to have it. I think you can still actually do the old maps can be brought across. There's a lot more possibilities with new maps, and I will be going through some of my old maps like the arena maps and things like that, and I'll be remaking those with the new map making, but it'll probably be a little while before I actually do that one. Mega Bob is saying, why is aquatic always considered not noob friendly? Just because it's not there's so much the faction itself, it's the transition between land and water, and people I guess are more familiar with fighting on land, and so in that sort of sense it's the matter of if you're a water nation and try to get onto land, it's difficult. If you're a land nation and try to get into water, it's difficult. And so you've sort of got this thing where there's a big divide between the two. And so I think it's easier just to turn it off and just to play with the land nations in that sort of category. I mean, you can just leave it on, but it's that to break into one or the other is quite difficult. So could do expansion with Cav or giant sacreds. Yeah, I mean, we could just sort of go into anything really. So hi Derna, how you going? And he starts saying some water nations have barely any land units. Yeah, it becomes a tricky prospect. Like if you got mermen and stuff like that. I forget what the actual faction is. Tritons or something. I forget what they are. But you're right. They don't have a land version. So I think do we just choose a random faction and just go with that, or should we play with one of the ones that are easier for new people to get into? You have to kind of spam turtle boys to invade. Yeah, it sort of ends up being I don't think it's a great way to sort of show the game. I'm experienced deja vu with the stream. Yes, I know. I think a few of you are. Vandalists are saying water nations are extremely unpopular anyway. Even the likes of Pelagia and Atlantis. Yes, yeah. Can cave nations start underground? Yes, they can. Yeah, you can. So you can actually that. In fact, they will. If you've got an underground, that's where they'll start. So that's actually what does happen. So the things like Agartha, and there's a few of them that do start underground. I forget the other one. There's one that's got like little bat people. The bat people one that starts underground as well. I forget what they're called. Anyway, let's just start with this with a no man's land running through the middle and a random. Or should we play? I really like this one as well. The Circle World. This one's pretty cool. Let's play Circle World, but with no east-west wraparound. So we're just going to be on an island with a big lake in the middle of it. Let's do that. So Ace is saying, hello, is it multiplayer? Do you play with subscribers, Daz? No, I've got a... Look, I will preface this and say that there is discussion about getting a YouTube multiplayer. The multiplayer is incredibly intricate and fun, but the intricacy also means it's incredibly time-consuming. So it's sort of one of those things where I don't go into it lightly, and yet there will be a multiplayer run of YouTube people, so that you can see it from different perspectives. So I am looking forward to that, but that may be months down the track. I'm not sure when that will start. It certainly won't be right now. So Mega Bob saying, shame, I'm really drawn to Relay as a nation. Yeah, that's really a cool nation. That's the Lovecraftian style nation. That does look like an interesting Cthulhu based themed water nation was the only one really worth playing. Yeah, which is Relay. So Istar is saying Circle World with Circle Caves. Yeah, why not? Okay, let's do that. Sounds good. We'll turn the east-west wraparound off. Just go okay. We're in. So we'll call this one Livestream. I think I had one already. No, I didn't. I did. Yeah, that's okay. So, who are we going to play as? Now, I tend to just play Middle Ages more if I'm not really doing anything in particular. So, Jorgen is then saying, I play more Water Nations than anything else. Yeah, it looks. Some people like them, but I think it's just for structuring this for newish players. Do arrows or projectile spells, spells like Dom 4 or 5, work like Dom 4 or 5? Yes, it still works very much the same mechanics, very much the same. There's additional stuff to it, so the underlying mechanics is not that dissimilar. So It still feels the same to a degree, but there are differences in the way that spells work. You're going to have bigger armies, for example, things like that. The game's Steam page and Discord will probably be very popular in organising multiplayer. Hopefully I can find myself a few games. Look, I know that you will. I know that you will. It's one of these things that this is going to be an incredible. This is an incredible game. Look, the differences between this game and the previous, each iteration has been just a bit of an increase on the one before it. And there has been some where there's been some fairly large changes. But I know that when Dom 5 came out, there was a lot of comments saying, oh, it wasn't that dissimilar to Dom 4. I thought it was because of the user interface, the user experience was much more heightened. This game really is dramatically different. Not to the point where it feels uncomfortable, but there's an awful lot in here that does actually change. Oh, hi Battle Mode, how you going? I think you were streaming earlier today, I think. So there's so Battle Mode, if you actually I'll do a shout out to Battle Mode, who is actually he's also releasing content today. So I think it's Battle Mode, Lucid Tactics and myself will have content early for the game. So anyway, so welcome Battle Mode. And a shout out again to people should actually go and check your channel out as well to see the content coming up. Okay, so you've been streaming for 4 hours. There we go. It was actually Battle Mode who found out that I was allowed to stream afterwards. But anyway, by that stage it was all too late. So where should we start? Early, middle, or late? I always go middle because it's sort of in the middle of everything, and I tend to go in from there. So Timo was saying custom bless effects in Dom 5 was a change from Dom 4. Yeah, and there are certainly, I found that there was a lot of changes in Dom 5. I really loved it, but I've got to say, Dom 6 takes it to a whole other level. There's so many new things in this one. Actually, one thing we should be doing, before we go in, I will just quit out for 1 second, and I will actually open up the manual, just so we've got the manual running on the side. So let me go and grab that. Downloads. Oh, come on, computer! Don't stall. Yeah, Battle Mode saying the AI is way better now. Yeah, they do change. Oh, God, why has this done what it's doing? Oh, hang on. My computer is having a bit of a fit. There we are. So we're back in here. I'll just go back across to my gaming stuff. Try that again. Games, Dominions, 6, manual. So there's different manuals for all the different aspects of the game, by the way. So we've got an events manual, the actual manual itself, the map manual, and then the mod manual. So these are all different manuals you'll be able to download. I don't think these are freely available yet. Actually, that would be cool if they did make the manuals available, just so people could actually have a read through, because it really is awesome. I'll just use Sumatra PDF, which is a nice light PDF viewer, so we'll just leave that one there. And that way I can then just have this one and we can reference things as we come into it. So I think it's a good way to play it, actually, is to sort of have that one working there. So, for example, in the manual, it does actually have a section fairly early on about the changes. So major changes, not even, there are too many new changes between DOM 5 and DOM 6 to mention them all in the manual, which is saying something when the manual is nearly, it's over 400 pages long. But here's a list of the most important changes, the rules. So we've got Glamour as a new spell. I won't go through these in great detail. The mounts are now split between riders and mounts, which is really, really major. This is really quite exceptional, which then changes the way that combat works as well. So it used to be that if you were targeting like a knight on a horse, you were targeting that as a single unit. It's no longer the case. If an arrow hits the square where you've got a couple of knights on horses, what will end up happening is the riders will have a less chance of being hit than the horses, for example, but they can both be hit separately. One can take damage, the other one doesn't have to take damage. It's really, really cool. The four manuals, you've got this main manual, which is 400 pages long, but the other ones are really, if you want to build a something in the game, the modding manual and the map mapping manual, that's what I'll be looking at in some detail next. Actually, not next as in today, but when I get deeper into the game, I'll be certainly looking at that side of things. So, because I want to actually change all my maps across to DOM6 maps, and that actually does go through, like, you know, how to do that as well. Like the question before was how the you know, whether you can use the old maps, and yes, you can. You can actually still make them work, but you're better off trying to then do something a bit more different with them. So, but you can actually not make them. That the changes are. You can still use the same graphics, but a lot of the numbering in it has changed, so you still have to go through the editor and fix them, but they can be fairly easily adapted. All right, so mounts are really big things. The battlefield terrain is really interesting as well, because you've now got bushes, rocks, and other obstacles now as part of the map itself. And so you've got, for example, if you go into a if you've got like a group of 3 humans that are walking across the map, and they walk into a tile that's got a boulder in it that takes up 2 spaces, one of those humans has to move out of that little group and, you know, go into another square and then join back up again afterwards. So that's quite interesting. So the terrain actually can disrupt what goes on. Assassination locations are no longer just on a big flat plain. These are now in actual taverns and things like this, inns, libraries, whatever. So there's more theme to it, which is really, really cool. Hidden map, so the map is hidden from the start, which is actually interesting because you don't, like, if you're playing a random map, it really is complete fog of war. I sort of wish that was I wish there was a setting for that one where you could actually turn that one on or off. Multiple planes, this is massive, I think, from doing map making. We saw there the underground is one plane. There's also another plane as well that comes with all the random maps, which I haven't got to at all yet, actually. But there is actually, so there's 3 planes that come with random maps in the game, but there's 4 or 5 other planes that you can build as a map maker. And so you can actually have them to be anything you like, any theme that you like. So the map can now contain multiple planes that can be discovered and conquered. And so one thing that you could do with that, for example, would be to have a plane that allow, almost like a portable plane, that would allow you to then come, like, have these things on a big map all come to one central location. And I think they would have to have different provinces when they come in, but you could actually have areas where there's only like one province in between, or that they're all together, and then you could go to almost like teleporting across the map. So it's really, really cool. So but I'm saying, so the planes are completely customizable. Yes, yeah, they are. So it's one of those things where if you have an entrance, it doesn't have to correlate with the entrance on the main map. They can actually literally go into a teleport chamber, and so you can use them for not for teleporting directly, but between a turn you could actually have a plane. You can have a plane of existence that works as a teleport location, a hub, and then go from there. There's already a portal plane, Daz. You need to spell to access it, but then it links all your provinces. Yeah, that would be, that I think is the 3rd one, but I haven't actually got to that one yet. But you can, like, as a map maker, you'd be able to do all sorts of weird and wonderful things there. I think that the maps, like, give us a year, and I reckon we're going to see some pretty amazing curated maps that people will have designed with really, really unusual takes on these planes. Like, you can do anything really. So Battleman's saying, I really want to make a cool map now. Well, you can, because, well, not just yet, but also along with maps, I did actually have a look at the map nuke programming, and I've noticed that the map nuke has actually now got a whole lot of new files in the back end. It's not compiled yet, but they're all getting ready for all the different the map. The next point actually, the alterable map terrain. So when you build a map now, so the terrain type of provinces on the world map can now change. This is quite rare, but it can happen if a province is under the influence of its extreme dominion scale. So when you build a map, you can if you want to. You don't have to, but you can if you want to set up different terrains for the same base map. So your base map can actually adapt and change. And so what you end up with is, for example, you start with the plains map. That's your default. Actually, I'll show you. I will go and open. Did I get rid of the other one? Did get rid of the other ones, unfortunately. So I'll just I'll open up the map making and show you what I mean. I think I'm allowed to show all this. Oh well, if I'm not, someone will shut me down. So just go across into games, dominions. 6. I haven't looked at all the manuals, but the one I'm interested in, so you've got your events manual. You can see the others are much, much smaller than the main manual, but the map manual in through here, for example, if I just go and send that one to, oops, hang on, where is it? Open with Sumatra PDF. And so this is the actual map, the map style. I can just sort of zoom in on this one a little bit. And so this is the map making one where it goes through, for example, I'll just show you where these are. So it's just going through the coding of it, the different styles, the different groups. These numbers have all changed. This is why you can't just open up a DOM 5 map, because the numbers have now changed because of the new factions and the different things you can then go and do. But there's new commands in that as well that you can actually put in there. You don't have to use all the commands, of course, but the starting locations, yeah, there's been a lot more things actually added into it. Multiple planes. This is the coding for it. This is the fun thing, though. This is the terrain graphics. So this is an example. So my map is the default look for the default look for, and the water provinces are then sort of placed into it. And then you've got my map winter, which is what used to happen. So you used to have a my map and a my map winter type effect, which is all that you had in Dominions 5 and beyond. But now you actually have my map forest for the look of forest. So you can actually have a plains that changes into forest. You can change into wastelands. You can change into farmlands. You can change into swamps. You've got highlands. Actually, there's a typo there. Highlands in this one as well. So highlands, again, plains would probably be just your default anyway, but you do actually have one there if you want it. Kelp forests for the water, and look for drowned. And so this one here is actually, I did actually ask about this one because that's actually going to be my map _ water. But it goes beyond that, because you can then actually add a W to those, and so you end up with my map forest W, have a winter forest map, a winter waste map, winter farm map. So you've actually got all these different maps that you can actually have that then change over time. So so this is actually major. Like, this is massive, this sort of stuff. So anyway, that's where it actually is. Now it's got the random map generator there, but Map Nuke is being built with this in mind. So there's already, I've seen a few things in Map Nuke just in the coding. That I had a look the other day just because it's on GitHub, and yeah, there certainly is. Certainly the changes are being made to actually to implement this as part of its random map maker. So that's awesome. The actual random map generator in the game does that as well. Like, it creates all of those things. Now the old DOM 5 maps, here's a question. DOM 5 maps are compatible with DOM 6 with certain reservations. Basic terrain masks and other map commands are mostly the same, but the border mountain numbers has changed. So maps that have those will need modification, just using the map editor that comes with Dominion 6. The main difference is that DOM 5 maps do not contain images for the different terrains. This makes it impossible for DOM 6 to show the correct graphics for a province that has changed its terrain. So if it has sunk into the water or become a wasteland or something like that, it won't change the graphic. Scripted DOM 5 maps will probably not work in DOM 6, as a number of the nations have changed as well as some monster names. Now, I certainly was using that, but that's sort of like, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Anyway, let's just keep on going through this particular little list. Legendary spells. This is interesting as well. Once you reach level 9, you no longer reach and research level 9. You have to research each spell individually, which is really, really cool. So you've got things in through those as well. Legendary spells. There's a few, I think, legendary items as well are the same deal. Once you get to that level, you have to choose the actual items to then go and build, and you then actually have a yearning aspect. When a item is made that's legendary, it can become like the Rings of Power from Lord of the Rings, where the desire for them is overwhelming for people in the world, and so they become major aspects of the game as well, which is really, really cool for like the late game. It's very, very interesting. So extreme dominion scales. Now this is I said this in my earlier stream, but essentially you've got scales that run between -2 and 2 by default. It used to be -3 and 3. You think, hang on, this is supposed to be bigger. We want bigger, not smaller. Yes, it's a more limiting factor for factions. So you can't choose, like, for example, used to be a luck 3 was a bit of a go-to for a lot of people if they could do it. It's now you've only got up to like so bad luck. You've got unluck of -2 up to lucky of 2. But what you then end up getting is these are sliding scales. These can be pushed along, and so you end up with it going from between -2 and 2 to being pushed to -1 and 3 to being 0 and 4 and even 1 and 5. So you can actually scale them across. They can slip and slide depending on the pretenders and the nations that you play. So that's quite interesting the way that one does work. So scales at values 4 and 5 are known as extreme scales, and that's where you're going to get your probably your map terrain type thing sort of changing as well. So yeah, it's really cool here. And then larger, the scale is increased, so Dom 6 is able to handle many more units than before. So this is why we're getting bigger battlefields. I was going to count the tiles. I counted the tiles in Dom 6. I did that the other day, but I forgot to go and count the tiles in Dom 5 to see what the difference is. I don't know if anyone's got Dom 5, but if you want to open it up, press G and actually look inside a battlefield and count the actual tiles, the dimension. The dimension for Dom 6, and I did mean to go and actually do a comparison, but they're 100 deep, 100 tiles deep by 50 tiles wide. They're bigger than the Dom 5 maps, but I'm not sure by how much. And so it means that when you script and do different things, you're going to have a bit more to play with in the actual battles themselves. Many new nations, monsters, magic items, spells, magic sites, bless effects, random events. That it's just incredible, this game. Anyway, let's leave this open and then we'll come back in and if we need to reference anything, we can just do that. So there's an awful lot that does go on with the actual game itself. Okay, so Jorgen is then saying not to mention being able to exceed your normal maximum with spells. Yeah, no longer will a spell give a +1 growth be useless to someone who maxed their growth in Pretender design. Yes, that's true. So you can do it. Yeah, so it can actually happen on the map as well. There's all sorts of different things that can actually happen with this as well. So there's a lot to like about where this game actually is. It certainly opens things up. So it really is amazing. AI's improved. Lucid is the one who to ask for specifically about the multiplayer stuff there. Yeah, the multiplayer has now got a. We'll see when we get in there, when we create the world. So let's just go and create the world. Circle. We went that way. Get rid of east-west wraparound. I'll keep it on medium. Just click on OK. We're going to call this one Livestream. We got to here. So got to that point. We do have to. We can't just randomly choose one. I think I'll still just go into the Middle Ages, and now I've now done a couple of episodes of the new Middle Age faction. Let's just choose one for ourselves. So I'm not going to be choosing the water nations at the bottom here, so I'm not going to choose any of those. I did sort of start one with this Nidavangir, because that's pretty much the new one from this from the Middle Age. There certainly are some other new ones. I don't know, do you want me to start with just a new one, or do you want me to just play one of the old ones so I can show you how to approach it? So certainly some of the other ones have changed. Like, for example, Vanheim is quite a different one because it now uses glamour instead of air. Some of the others, I haven't looked at all of them, of course. Now, this is Zibalba is the flooded caves, so cave-dwelling amphibians. This is actually more of a bit of a mixed water. If I just right-click, these actually do start underground. So these have actually now got a amphibious cave dwellers. So these would start in the cave layer. That's the way that they would actually then go and work. But not that these are more amphibious anyway. So I don't really want to be playing as them. So yeah, let me know what you want me to play. I mean, it's I think the easiest one to if you're new to the game to play is Ulm. It still is. That hasn't changed that much. So our age is still similar, like early ages, lots of magic. Yes, yeah, exactly the same. So that's exactly the same. The factions are very much the same. There's it's just how they actually operate is slightly different. So if you're used to playing a particular faction, you are going to keep on being able to play that particular faction. Like, for example, Ermor is still Ermor with no commanders or units. It's still an undead nation. It's still got the same sort of deal. But what this one does have, this is the Scales and Blesses. The death limit goes up by +2. And what I said before about the sliding scales, this means that death doesn't go between -2 and +2. It goes now, well, death is the other way, so from death and growth, it would now go from -4, so death of 4, to 0. It won't go into any growth at all if you play Ermor, as an example. Jones is saying Micklin, blood for the blood god. I want to play it nice and simple. Man's a good one to show as a nice, relatively simple one where you can still do a lot of different things. If you play as Man, I do like Man actually, so maybe we'll play as Man. Man is one that's if Ulm is sort of like your entry level version, like where when you come in, you don't have a real lot of choice when you play Ulm, which is great for new players because you don't have to think about them. So in this case, Ulm is probably one of the easiest ones to play, and I also find that Jotunheim is another one that is really nice to play simply because you're playing with giants, and so you don't have to play with blessed strategies. So Jotunheim and Ulm definitely can be played where you don't worry about bless at all and sacred, so they become something you just play. Whereas something like Man, you do want to start to make use of their of the bless strategies, which is actually, maybe we'll do that. So if you guys are happy, yeah. So Timo was saying Ermor has such a cool story arc through the ages. Yes, it does. Also the AI diplomacy is a welcome addition. Yes, well, not only for the AI, also for multiplayer. So that's going to be a big change for multiplayer multiplayer diplomacy as well. That's going to be very, very cool. Can you show off different possible blesses? Can you get the blesses from one path if you haven't? Yes. Yeah. So I'll show you all that. What we'll do is, well, let's go to Man because we can actually have a bless strategy. So we'll just go into Man, which is the Tower of Avalon. Now, in the screen, every screen that you come to, and this is the same in Dom 5 as well, just do a question mark. It shows you all the things you can do. So I can change all of the randoms to land by Shift L, which is what I'll do. Shift L. And my dog's barking at something. I'm just going to go and check what's happening. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. My wife just got back. He's excited. Right, Scatic, how are you going? And Rogue saying, can't wait for this game to come out. Yep, it's back to saying giant nations can be a bit of a noob trap as the giant units can be easily swarmed. That's true. That's true. So that's why I do like Jotunheim though, because you can still actually have blessable units that, but they don't have to be very powerful. That dog, that dog, yes, it's a pain in the ass, I can tell you. He's a really old dog now, and he's deaf, but when he sees things, he sort of, he just gets a bit crazy. I don't know, he's a strange dog, very strange dog. Let's just play with 6 players. So we'll go with 6 players in this one through here. Okay, so Garrison Porter saying, as a person super into Agartha, I'd love it if you checked out the cave. So let's do that. We won't play as Agartha, because that's another good one to play as well. Like it's fairly one-dimensional, but I think we'll come back and play Man. But I'll start one up with Agartha. So if we go, I'll show you another little thing as well. Now, where is Agartha? That's there it is, the Golem Cult. And so if we go into the Golem Cult in through here and just click on OK, and you can sort of see these have got like giants and demons and stuff like this, but I won't actually play as them. What I'm going to do here is on this particular screen, I'm just going to press R, which then fills everything in just randomly. Bang, there we go. We have ourselves, I think it might be a lightning dragon. No, it's an earth dragon. There's an earth dragon. It's got strength of the earth and fortitude. That's okay. It's dormant. It doesn't really matter. We just want to see what it looks like. So we'll just click on OK. Owen is the name. That's fine. I'll just leave these where they are. Just click on OK, and we'll come back into this in just a minute. So we'll do the actual start. So what are some of the different planes? Well, it's whatever you want. There's only 3 in the game to start with. So we'll have a look. We should start in the cave plane in this instance. So Atinvado saying, Daz, did you mean that map makers can make custom realms, like making a Inferno or such, or Fora in Vanilla Dom 6? There's I'll just show you when we get in there. Just click on exit. So this is the cave layer. So this is we're inside the cave layer, at the moment. There's some entrances that go up the top. So this one goes to the Poison Plains, and this one goes to an unknown destination. So we don't know what's actually up that way. Playing as Agartha. So that's the Agarthan province in through there. It looks like it's actually a bit frosty here. So this is a frozen, like this is now sort of the ground has become permafrost back under through this other side. If we have a look at the plains, so this is the underground plain, the realm beneath. The Pantocrator's realm is the realm above, and so this is the Poison Plains that we now sort of see from above us, but we're not seeing the other one as an example. Now this is sort of like something where there's like a wasteland, is where this one has come into, and then we've got another one as well, the Unknown Plane. So all three planes of existence sort of are up there. As I said though, these don't have to. That doesn't have to be exactly the same distance apart. That can be. It sort of ends up being similar, but it could be over here, for example, or something like that. So it sort of does change a little bit, which is really quite cool. So so anyway, that's and this is the fog of war that we now have. So Mega Bob's saying, how does this compare to Shadow Empire for complexity? Pretty similar. In fact, Battle Mode's saying, yeah, Shadow Empire is more complex mechanically, but Dominions has a huge range of organic complexity through the sheer number of variables to play with. Both very different. They are different. I'd say they're about the same complexity, to be honest. It's a complex game, but it doesn't have to be. That's why if you play as something like Ulm, you can really learn the game quite quickly. Ulm is perfect as to learn the game. And I really don't mind if we go back. We can actually play as Ulm, just so I can show you, because it's so one-dimensional when you play Ulm. There's not a real lot of choice in terms of the weirdness in the, like, you don't have to worry too much about the spells and all that sort of stuff. You really do play a particular way, and you have a lot of benefits with playing as Ulm, which makes it interesting. But if you play multiplayer Ulm, everyone knows how you have to play, so you don't have any nuance. Whereas a lot of the other factions you can play with some difference, which actually makes it really, really interesting. So as you sort of get into the actual game itself. But anyway, that's let's just get out of there. We'll just quit without saving. So I'll create a new world. But anyway, that's the underground planes. So that's the way they work. And then map makers can make their own planes that do sort of come back across. So we've got, so we'll just go that way. We've got that one turned off. That's fine. So this will be live stream. I'll be sort of doing these day after each day anyway for the next few days. So we'll delete the game that was there before. Yeah, so the different ages. It's still very much like lots and lots of magic through to mainly iron and steel back into this late age and through there. I'll just stick with the Middle Ages though. So yeah, as far as the things like the Inferno or the Void, that would have to be sort of coded in. For that to then actually go and work. And then I don't know, you could then go to, actually I haven't got it turned on anymore, but if I go to the map making area, no, I won't do it, but you should be able to code certain things to happen on different planes. Certainly if you're the map maker and you're curating it and building it yourself, you'll be able to then sort of make certain things there. And so Timo is saying, do you have a favourite nation? I like tradition. I do like. I've got to say, I do like the ice giants of Jotunheim. I just like the Norse mythology, so I do like that one. I also like. I do like European mythology. I guess more than any other sort of mythology. So I do gravitate towards that. So for me, that's something that I've always enjoyed reading. Like like Man is very much like the Knights of Avalon. This is like King Arthur's realm, things like that. So each of them does have like a very different take on, like if we do go into, for example, if I right click on Man, is a feudal kingdom. Their kingdom is this is sort of like imagine that King Arthur has gone, he has passed away, and then he's got like almost like a half fairy world, like where he's like the Isle of Avalon is supposed to be where he's buried, and this is sort of like something where you end up with special knights that ride unicorns. So the Knight of Avalon rides a unicorn, so it's got a unicorn mount, which is going to be stronger than a horse, for example. And when the unicorn comes in, it's going to have the alicorn that can actually use its horn to actually also gouge other people, and it's also magic. It does magical damage. The Knight of Avalon itself uses a lance and then a broadsword. This has actually changed a little bit in the game, a little bit. So the mounted units are very, very cool now. So man is very much like a King Arthur, an Arthurian style sort of approach, but with sort of nature magic. If you go back in other ones that are sort of similar, you've got Pangaea, which is very much your satyrs, your centaurs, your minotaurs, things like this, where it's sort of more, I guess, Macedonian in style, I would imagine. Sort of that would be sort of where this one would sort of come from. These are all old, of course. You've got Phlegra, which is these are your Cyclopses. These are interesting as well. Got some. These came in at the end of Dom 5, but these are still still got these sort of like large Cyclopses that you sort of are using in through there. So that's again that would be more sort of Greek influence. Aristophale is actually a group of more sort of like Greek hoplites that you sort of then get to play with. So these are very much more like just human Greek with some elephant riders, etc. So more sort of like, I guess, Greek into Persian. It's incredible what the game does. Urmor is an undead one. Asphodel is sort of like an interesting one as well. That's like Pangaea. But so it's got the centaurs, the minotaurs, but it's a bit more of a death realm. So you've got sort of like these the Parnic apostates that sort of then become more. They're more like whereas Pangaea is much more about nature. Astrophodel is more about nature and death. So you've got like a lot of death introduced into what goes on here. It's really cool the way it does work. And then you've got like Man, which is in the thing through there. This is Erethu, the last of the Tuatha. These are interesting as well. This is more seed, and this is more the where you've ended up getting the again sort of like a bit more of a hybrid between. This is more sort of half fairy, half human, and so these are, I guess, inspired by Irish mythology. These particular ones, with the seed and the Tuatha. So I don't know how to exactly pronounce it. I think it's either Seethe or I think it's Seethe. So Jason's saying, "Oh God, I love Asphodel." There's just so much to like about this game. It's really, really cool. And then you've got it just goes. Agartha is that down in the caves. Ulm is this is the closest to dwarves I think in the game. This one is all about iron and steel. They don't like magic. So you can see through here, for example, their productivity goes up, so the whole scale goes up. They're the only ones that can really get to easily to productivity 3, but their drain goes down as well, so you can actually drain the magic out of the land because they don't like magic. And so these are, or they don't need magic to be able to operate, but these are very, very strong, but they're still stocky humans, basically dwarfs. So they're still human size, essentially, but that's very much like if you're playing as Ulm, you're playing as the dwarves essentially. So that's really cool. Marignon is almost like a French take, or French slash probably French Spanish sort of Middle Ages group, where you've again got different sorts of like Knights of the Chalice. You've got I think you've got witch hunters, and through here who search for different enemy units. You've got Inquisitors, who are great at destroying the dominion of other units. So these are all still pretty much the same as what they were before. Anyway, it just goes on and on. There's just so much, and then down in through here you've got all your Norse factions, pretty much from Vanheim, Vanarus, Jotunheim, and now you've got Nidavangir as well. These four down in here. So you've got Vanheim is basically the elves. So these are essentially like, even though it says humans, these are elves essentially from Norse legend. They do actually have Valkyries. They've got Vans themselves, which are essentially sort of like glamour elves. So they use glamour very, very much to do sort of like mirror images of themselves, so on and so forth. So it really is amazing. Again, so that's a cool one. Vanarus is more Russian Norse, if you know what I mean. So these are more sort of like shapeshifters. So you've got like different, like the Chud skin shifter. So this one here, for example, will be able to shift into a bear. I think it's like a werebear. Wolven skin shifters. So Chud skin shifters don't have the regenerative powers of Wolven skin shifters of Vanheim, but they have remarkable recuperative powers. So they do, yeah. So their flesh they changed with the rage of a bear. So that was in 5. They came in 5. But you've got a whole heap of them. This is much more sort of like centered around, Russian sort of mythology in the northern Russian. Jotunheim is the one I do like. This is the ice giants. So the ice giants of Norse mythology, where again the cold scale gets pushed up. You can actually have that one as up to cold 3. It's the way that they've actually just finessed it with Dom 6 is really good. So are you guys happy for me to play as? I've got no way to really poll, unfortunately, in YouTube. In Twitch, I can actually just put a poll up and we can just decide what we're going to play. Yeah, Jorgen is saying 101 factions total in Dom 6, I believe the trailer said. Yeah, there's heaps and heaps. This is just them in the Middle Age. Yeah, Satis, you've got your sort of like your lizard men. There's just so much. There's just so much to like about it. Yeah, so just in the comments there, so Alma's good for us returning to watch too. Yeah, should we play as Alma? Alma's a great way. Is Fascia new? I don't know, to be honest. I remember it being there in Dom 5 at the end. I thought it was introduced at the end of 5. This one here is more about, this is sort of like Greek legendary. This is essentially sort of where you've got like the, these are essentially these are almost like the North African, like in the Barbary Coast type things where they can sail around. But I remember them from 5. So didn't you? We had a look at Man. I don't mind playing something different than Man. You can't show much magic with Alm, can you? No, not really. Okay, look, we'll play Man. We'll play Man because that way we have to think about it. So we'll just go back and go back to Man. So scroll up to the top, Man, the Towers of Avalon, and Shift L, make them all land nations, so that everyone's just playing as a land nation. Now they can still start. A land nation can still be a cave nation, so it doesn't mean that they're all going to be the same. That will do us with what we have. So we'll just click on OK. So now what we need to do is we need to decide how we're going to be playing as Man. And so I'll just go through the steps that I go through if I'm looking at a faction I have never played before. Now I have played Man before, so I sort of know what happens in here. But if I don't know, I always start at the back end of the standard units, the ones that you just recruit. And I start looking at them and having a quick look to see what they're special at. And so this one is a sacred unit. I want to know which ones are sacred, what their gold and resource cost is, and this is fairly even, like with what we're sort of seeing through there, what their overall strength, defense, protection. We're looking at some pretty good stuff. What sort of shielding that they use, just to get a bit of a feel for it. This one has a lance and a broadsword, which is fine, but it's sacred. It is poison resistant as well, which is actually interesting. That's because it's got of the nature aspect. Forest survival, recuperation. Like you can click on these. This unit heals its afflictions over time. Recuperation loses its effect once the unit gets old. Now that's not going to affect us as such. So they're going to self-heal, which is great. And then we've got disease resistant at 100, which means that they will not get diseased. So that's really, really interesting as well. So that's just with that one there. And that's even without the blessing. So the sacred unit, we just need to know which units are sacred and what they're like. If we go to the next one, this one here is also sacred. It's stealthy. It's got forest survival, true sight, and bodyguard. Now, true sight makes it possible to see through illusions of glamour. Units with true sight get no penalties from flying units. From fighting units who are invisible or enchanted with glamour spells such as blur. So we can sort of cut through that automatically. Again, another sacred unit. Very even, gold and resources. That's the important thing we're looking at through there. Chainmail and helmet, but no shield. Uses a great sword, which is a two-handed weapon. So that's important to sort of know. Does a lot of damage right from off the bat, which is great. So that's fine. As we go through, we then just got Knights of Man. Again, very even. Gold to resources. It is purely just a skilled rider. So a skilled rider will increase the morale and defense unit of this mount. The defense increase is most effective on lightly armored horses, as it is reduced by the encumbrance value of the mount's armor. So they're going to be able to use their destriers better because of that particular relationship. Then we've got the Ligurian cavalry. This is sort of like a step down. More gold than resources. It's a bit cheaper. So full ring mail, iron cap does just use a shield, whereas the other guy, I think, is using a kite shield. which has got even more parry, which is big. This is really quite important. So these guys are very, very good at protecting themselves. Then we come down into the Landless Knights. Again, we're looking at more resources because of the armor that it has. So that one's a good one in terms of just having like a strong unit with a broadsword and a kite shield. Again, the shielding really is incredibly important. So we've got a strong basic fighter there. We have a forester who's got a short bow. And look at the precision. He's got precision 12. Precision becomes important once you go beyond 10. So 10 and under, it's fairly sort of standard, but it does diminish, of course. Every point makes a big difference. But when you go above 10, like 11, 12, 13, etc., you double the points above that above 10. So this one in the die rolls would be rolling as a 14. So it's really quite cool. Thanks very much for those gifted memberships there, at Novato. Very much appreciated. That's fantastic. Thanks for that one. Yeah, very much appreciated. So thank you for that. So I hope I haven't missed too many chats and things. If you do want to grab my attention, if you do write at Daz Tactic, I think it does show up as red, so I do then get to see it. So anyway, this is one that we can. This one with the precision really means we can make very, very good use of this one. Not very many resources. The gold is up there, so these are highly trained. These are stealthy as well. They're ambidextrous, so they can go in with axe and dagger. Which so when they do get into the actual fighting, they've only got leather armor though, so we want to keep them out of that if we could. How many ammo? 12 ammo. Okay, that's fine. Do we have a release date with the gameplay teasers? Yeah, it's when is it? The 16th, I think it is. So 3 or 4 days. So not very long. It's early next week. Tuesday for most people, I think. So okay, so we've got the so these are actually fairly cool. Then we've got the Tower Guards. These actually have extra castle defense bonuses. Again, they've just got a normal shield with 30 parry 4. Broadsword in through there again, which is just a standard sort of sword. These are, in terms of like slightly more resources than gold. Again, we're just getting a bit of a feel for these. Then we've got the Logarian Warriors. Slightly more resources than gold again. Uses an axe. Does throw a javelin, but only with it's got precision 10 there, but it gets reduced to 8. The javelin has got a -2 precision amount to it. So this one is inaccurate, but is only fired at very, very short distance. So that's actually okay. So these are sort of like, these are basically related to the Tuatha that we sort of saw there from the Irish mythology that we had read before. So we've then got, as we sort of come back through, we've got the Logarians. Then we've got the long spear. It's great. This Man is so good for this, because what Man has got is a whole range of different types of units that you can use in different types of settings. And these guys here have got a long spear at length 4. And even though it's only got scale mail, cuirass, iron cap and shield of parry 4, it's only 10 gold and 13 resources, fairly cheap. This long spear, with its repel factor against other cavalry, is enormous. This is really, really important. Even against giants, it's going to be able to stop them to a large degree. And so these are great as a frontline troop. Really, really cool frontline troop that we actually have there. Then we've got just a spearman, which has only got length of 3. Again, much cheaper, or a little bit cheaper than the other one. Very similar. I'd probably just spend the extra if I could and just get the long spears and just leave it at that, because they're going to be doing a lot more repelling. Repelling is a very detailed and intricate mechanic that works incredibly well against cavalry. So, and that's going to be really, really important. One of the new factions has come in with no spearmen whatsoever, and that makes it very hard when you actually do go up against cavalry. You need the reach, because you need to get beyond, like if we have a look at the lance is length 3. And so if these guys are charging in at length 3, you need to have a bigger, you can't be the same, it's got to be bigger than whatever the reach is. So cavalry, it's got a light lance, length 3. So these guys are using this one is length 3 as well. So all of these, that length 3, have to beat the repel of a length 4 long spear, but don't have to bother about the length 3 of a normal spear. This is why these guys, when we come up against cavalry, really do an incredible job as long as we follow it up. So this is actually important to know that we've got these. Then we've got the Longbowman. Precision 12 again, range 45 at very, very high values. Now this is a, it just does pierce damage. I thought it may do extra things as well. I think it's just more the range that's the factor here, but they're good as well. How many? It's got 12 ammunition as well. But these are very, very good precision 12 long range bowmen. So so they're very, very accurate. This 12 is about as much as you can expect from a normal unit. And then we actually have some Ligurian slingers, which I don't think we'll bother getting. They've got very poor precision. Back and through here, range 30. Cheap, but we've got other things we'd be wanting to spend in through there. But we're seeing that resources and gold are both important for what we're seeing through there. So just having a quick look at your basic units, because this is ultimately where you're going to be spending a lot of your resources. Then we come back through the other ones at the top. So we've got the Ligurian Wise Man. This one can be recruited at all non-fort provinces. And so the Wise Man, because he's a magic user, will still need to be recruited. Now, he's actually an inept researcher. So would we want him? I don't think so. Maybe not. Yeah, I don't know. Like, he's something we may at some point if we have to, but we'd have to figure out what to do with him. Then we come into our actual units. The Crone of Avalon can only be recruited in the capital. Comes in at old age at 142, and the old age starts at 125 in this instance. Is a spell singer, so spell singers take more time to cast spells, but also take far less fatigue. So it just takes a little longer in combat. So these are not really a combat caster. They've got 2 glamour, 3 nature, which is fairly cool. These are priest level 1s as well. They also have 100% of either getting air, water, earth, nature, and glamour. So that's important for us to know we can get a nature 3, which makes life easy for us to a large degree, but they're just not going to be around long at that age. They're going to suffer. So that's expensive. 4 recruitment points is a lot. 465 gold is a lot, so we probably won't bother with them. Then we've got the Knight Commander. 100 leadership, this is important. Up to 3 squads, these are going to be important for us. Again, very much, these are also sacreds, so they're going to be very much the same as these guys in here. The Lord Warden will be the same as these. So this one comes in with ambidextrous, full helmet, full chainmail, good protection back in through there. We've got defense skill is not great, so it can't dodge very, very well. Gold is pretty cheap actually with what it does do. Good leadership again, up to 3 squads. Thinking this is one that we could make into a thug unit if we needed to. It doesn't have any priest levels, so it can't buff itself up from sacred into blessed. But potentially we could get rid of the ambidextrous broadswords, although that is very, very powerful with what this one does. Are these ambidextrous? No, they're not. They've just got a great sword. So that's a bit different in through there. Anyway, that does have stealth as well. So stealth of 40, which is good. Then we have the Mother Avalons to probably be our main go-to mage. Yeah, this one's cheap at 280. Only 2 recruitment points, so we can get one of them every turn. Again, spell singer, so not great in battle. That's new for me. I don't remember seeing that before. Level 1 priest as well. So we've got 1 nature, 1 glamour, and then we actually end up with a chance of getting another nature glamour, and then we also have another 100% chance of getting a water, earth, and nature. So there's a chance, if we sort of think about that one, like the chances of getting a level 2 nature mage are pretty much better than every second time we're going to get a level 2. To get a level 3 and get get that one and that one to actually fire at the same time would be minimal, but it would be, if not minimal, but it would be, without just sort of doing the maths, it's not going to be dramatically bad. So yeah, not very efficient to thug a Lord Warden if you hit them out. Yeah, just more thinking about, because you can change what they've got. They're already powerful anyway, but I don't think we have any real thug chassis in this one. The Bard is a spy, so this can be used as a spy. It does have stealth, a very high stealth of 50. Again, another spell singer, just does basic. It's only got glamour level 1 and 7 research, so probably won't worry about them so much. The Daughter of Avalon has got nature and glamour, 9 research, very cheap, Very cheap. Sacred as well. Not that that matters that much. So our spellcasters have all got the spell singer where they don't get fatigued, but they also do it slowly. The monk is a level 1 priest. Does do basic research. Is sacred. Is a mundane researcher. And so a researcher with this ability cannot have his magic research affected by a drain or magic scales. That's interesting. So he can actually research anywhere he likes. And then divine insights. The number of active researchers with divine insights is limited to the strength of the dominion in this province. So we have to be careful how many of these we would get if we had them. But it would mean that we could actually operate in drain with these, but it's just such a minimal amount of research. It's not really worth it, not really worth considering. Then we actually have really one normal commander, which is the Castellan. Again, high leadership, which is great. So we're very, very lucky with our leadership, I've got to say. And then we've got the Royal Forester as well, who's got stealth. Can actually take it along a little group as well. And so these are our scouts, but they also are leaders and can take along more of these type of guys as well, the Foresters, who also have the stealth. So we can have little raiding parties. So Revelsia is saying, did get some replacement spells. Yeah, there's been a lot of changes actually. Sorry I'm missing so many of the comments here, guys. So the Daughter of Avalon looks like the researcher of choice. It looks like it from cheapness, doesn't it? So if we have a look at the daughters, so we've got the Daughter of Avalon in through here at 9 research and 65 gold. It's still 2 recruitment, so we can only get 1 per turn. 280. For 13, yeah. The daughters ultimately are cheaper in gold, but they don't have this. Like we will be wanting to buff this unless we go with a different way of doing it. All right. So what we're going to be looking at is we're going to be looking at probably the wardens and the knights and figuring out what we need to make them work effectively. Let's have a quick look at our sites. So these are where we can get these different things. Now the recruitment we can only get those sacred units from the Forest of Avalon. So we have to actually get them from our capital city. We can't get them anywhere else. We get 3 nature from there and increases magic by a maximum of 2. Okay, that's cool. So we do get a pro magic area from this area. So the magic goes up. Yeah, that's interesting. And then we've got the Tower of Avalon through here. We get 2 glamour from this one here. And we get the Crone of Avalon. Now, if we can only get these from the capital, both of these, it means we're going to have to really go high dominion. So with that, we'll keep this in mind as to what's going on. Temples are cheap for us, half price. They're normally 600. Divinely inspired researchers, yeah. So nature, glamour, some water, earth, and air. The military is infantry, longbowmen, knights, yeah, blah blah blah. We've had a look at that one. So it's fairly simple in what it does do, but it gives us some possibilities. Now, if we go and click on OK and go into this next area, it will always just pick something from the top there. Don't worry about that so much. But we don't have any... The magic, it says that the magic will be pushed up. If we just go back and have another look at this, increases magic by a maximum of 2. I think it just pushes magic up in the area that we're actually in. So I think if we even go with some drain, that's how I would read that. That's new. I haven't seen that before. So I think that would actually then just push it will still be between -2 and 2. That's where we are. So Jorgen is saying normally 600, so the normal price of temples has gone up from 400 in Dom 5. I wasn't sure of the price. Hang on, let's have a look. Temples. I did look at this. I looked at this, I think, yesterday. 29. Page 29. Let's take us there. So that's page 15. That's 20. We'll be up to 28, 29. Temples. Temples cost 600 gold to build, although there are exceptions. Man and Minerva only pay half the cost. So yeah, must have gone up. Because laboratories cost 600, didn't they? Yeah, labs cost 600 to build, and some nations are able to build cheaper labs. So some of them do get them cheaper as well. So anyway, that's fine. All right, so we've got the essentially I'm not exactly sure how that will work with pushing the magic up. Yeah, so MT Carson is saying, I love their manual so much, so thorough. Yeah, it really is. It's incredible. It is incredible. So anyway, we sort of now have a bit of a feel for what we're doing in this other side. So we're going to be wanting to get high dominion, because this is going to then pick, it's going to allow us to then pick lots and lots of our sacred units. So we're going to be wanting to be at least 6, and probably higher, I would think, as well. Now let's have a quick look and see what we can do as far as blessing our units. What would be ideal for our guys? We know that they've already got recuperation, so that the afflictions aren't going to worry them much. Disease is not going to worry them much. So if we have a look at instead of looking at adding the bless effects, if I just press B, these are all the different bless effects that we actually have. So which ones would sort of suit us? And I'm looking more at these sort of things down in the bottom here. I don't need fire. Flaming weapons, it just increases what they do. Flight, don't really need those either, to be honest. I'm just looking at these sort of high level areas. Quickness is so good. It's so powerful. So blessed units are quicken. Quicken units move and attack twice as fast and get +2 to their attack and defense skill. So that actually makes them really, really strong. I'm so tempted to just go water with magic. So magic sort of works for us as well. So we just need to have a water 9 for that one there. So yeah, there are a few new blesses as well. Fortitude, hard skin, increased protection. I mean, there's a lot of good ones in here. Twist Fate is a good one for these sort of guys as well. That just requires Astral 6. And then we've got Etherealness. Actually, that would be good as well. And we just go with two magic. And then we've got the 8 Astral. So to get Ethereal. So blessed units will be very difficult to harm with non-magical damage, such as mundane weapons, or from spells such as Blade Wind. Ethereal units are able to pass through solid objects such as castle walls. So you can imagine the unicorn riding knights just charging straight through the walls of a castle. Yeah, it's quickness W9. Yes, it is. Yep. So it's still W9. Still water 9 up there. This one is only Astral 8 though, but with 2 magic scales. So that's interesting. Death we don't want. Now regeneration, we do actually have. We're not giants or anything, so that would be okay for the knights, but not so much for the others. Blessed units will recover from damage at extremely high rates. We do have a natural bent towards nature, so some of these would be actually pretty cool. So blessed units will receive a bark-like skin, which is very difficult to damage, so +7, maximum of 10 natural protection. Recuperation, we've already got that, so we don't need that one. So vitriol weapons, slowing weapons underwater. Where's that one? You're looking for the new ones, are you? I'm not sure which ones are the new ones, to be honest. Vitriol, that's going to require fire. Slowing weapons. Yeah, I don't remember seeing these before. So attacks from blessed units will make those hits apathetic and slow unless they resist the effect. So it does slow them down. That's only water 5. Attacks from blessed units will make those. Yeah, that's actually interesting. Will be interesting to see the specific effects. I can't wait for release. Yeah, yep. So now down through here we have luck. So blessed units will be very lucky when it comes to avoiding the last fatal blow. 75% chance to negate the last blow. Again, that's high glamour. I think I'll avoid those as such. We've got dread. We do have awe back in through there if we went with glamour and fire. To make it so that anyone striking them must pass a morale check first, which is actually really, really good as well. That's a really good one. Dread, so blessed units are shrouded in nightmares, so nearby enemies will see the nightmares as if they are real and likely flee from battle. So units can see invisible units can see through the illusions and are not affected. So fear +5 and true sight negates. That's interesting as well. What's that? That's only glamour. That's glamour 7. This is glamour 8 with 2 luck. Yeah, we won't worry about blood. Wow, we've got a bit of a choice here, guys. I don't remember dread being there before either. All of these are new because it didn't have. Awe was there before, but awe was somewhere else. I forget where awe was. So awe is still there, but with fire. It's important for us to figure out what we want to do here because the blessed units will be important. They're not going to be the overriding thing, but they will be important for us. So Junks is saying glamour seems kind of broken. So we do just displacement. Blessed units appear beside their actual location, so they're hard to hit. God, I don't know. It's sort of I like the idea of dread. Obfuscate. So all sacred units are stealthy, or yeah. So that just makes them even more stealthy, which we don't need to do. Yeah. Or what was fire? Okay. So yeah, that was a fire spell. So it's still got some fire, but mainly glamour, which makes sense. Well, let's base it around one of these. Dread is new. We could actually take that one. So I'll just get a collection. So dread, ethereal, and quickness. Let's just go that way. So what I'll get you guys to do in the chat, if you type number 1, we're going for water and quickness. Number 2, we're going to go for astral and ethereal. And number 3 is going to be dread out of glamour. So if you can type either 1, 2, or 3 in the chat, I'll then just go with whatever you guys decide. So decide what our blessed strategy is likely to be centered around. So again, 1 is water with quickness, 2 is astral with it being ethereal, and 3 is dread with causing fear. Oh, there we go. It's overwhelmingly 3 with a smattering of 2s and a couple of 1s. Yeah, okay, cool. So we're going with dread. So that means we're going to be going with glamour. So glamour is going to be what we actually aim for. And this is a new area as well, so I don't really know much about glamour, to be honest. I've sort of been when I've been playing and testing things, I've just been fiddling about without going too deep into anything. So we do have a few more 2s coming back in, but no, 3s have definitely got it there. I think when I have a look at it, overwhelmingly it looks like a 3. So we'll go that way. 3 for the panic mode. That's going to be very, very useful, actually. Now, this is incarnate only, so it can only be when the pretender god is awake and on the map. So it's got to be alive. It can't have been killed off. So we're going to go glamour. Is going to be the main thing. Now, going for secondary bits and pieces. If there is glamour, there's nothing much else in glamour else that we'd be looking for. Unaging doesn't really matter that much for us. It would be good for the crones to get nature 3. Actually, we're not worrying about magic in this instance. So just looking for something to supplement it. We do have undying through there. No, we won't worry about that one. Okay, command. Reinvigoration. I'll cover fatigue. We don't need that. Unbreakable. This one gives us blessed units are very resistant to getting permanent battle afflictions. We don't need that either, I don't think. Larger. No, we need nature and earth for that, so that's probably a bit too much. Swimming. That's a big one, actually, but I don't think we'll worry about that one. Fast shot, we don't need those either. Precision. Yeah, we don't need that. Superior morale, fire resistance, attack skill. So blessed units get their increased attack skill, +1 attack, making it easier to both hit enemies and to repel attacks. We're not going to be repelling. Repelling is not important for these. We've only got 2 units that really will be blessable. Inspirational presence, so sacred commanders will be able to command more units. They get +50 leadership as well, but that's fire 3 by that stage. Let's not worry. Let's not overthink it. It's glamour that we want. So glamour, and we don't care much about the other things. So we'll just go and cancel that. If we now go into the physical forms, one of the things, which I don't remember it being in Dom 5, is to press tab, and you now get to see the paths at the top, and you also get to see what's impacted. Like when you bring one of these in, this one gives you a +1 extra magic area that you can go into, but this one also gives you turmoil, for example. This one gives you growth, but with 3 nature. So we can look for the glamour. I don't think we can filter by glamour. No, we can't actually press G. I don't think there's anything else we can do here. It's just tab is the only thing we can do. So this is actually pretty cool. Now we know that we need a lot of dominion, so we might as well start with one of the Dominion 4 or Dominion 3. So the inanimate objects at the top. Now the only one that's got glamour is this one through here, the Oracle. It's got glamour and 2 water. And then down in this one through here with the Titans, we do have a Titan there which has got water, death, and glamour. That's water. This one's not bad. This is the Matrona of the Healing Spring. Are any of these actually? This one's reduced by 20 points for our nation, Son of the Sea. So that one actually is a bit cheaper for us. Anyway, this one's glamour as well, and this one's also reduced. This one gives us 2 nature, plus the glamour, plus the growth. I like the idea of that one. Mother of Storms, and then we've got the small one down through there. I won't worry about any of the others. I think we'll just stick with one of these bigger ones at this stage. I quite like this Lord of the Forest. I think that works in fairly well, having this combination. So yep. So we'll go with. I think we'll go with this one. If we pick him, we're going to get an extra. We can take the growth up one more scale. The 2 nature is also something we can build on. Let's just bring him in. So he starts off with Dominion 3, but we need to get the Dominion up very, very high. Now, I don't mind if he's actually dormant. I don't want him to be imprisoned. We're going to be needing to have the blessed units at some point. So we need to get our glamour up to 8. So we'll just go and do that. That gives us 8 blessed points. We've already got the 2 nature. So we already started with glamour, so that makes it a bit easier for us. Now, if I go for 3 nature, it only gives me 9 blessed points. If I go to the second one, if I go to 4 nature, that gives me a big boost to what things I can then go and do with my spell casting, and also to build things up. So that's actually going to be very, very helpful. If I go to 9 or 10, it's not going to help me, is it? I forget what happens when you get to 10, when you max out the actual magic path. There's some benefit, but I can't remember what it actually is. Anyway, 8 gives us what we want. We have 10 blessed points with this particular build. The 4 nature, if I go and press I for items, and if we have a look at nature items, at 4 nature, he's going to be able to build the Thistle Mace fairly easily. That's only level 2. In fact, he could do that one natively. So he doesn't need that one. That would take him to level 5. Then the very powerful magic items will give him nature +2. This one requires nature level 5. Okay, so he buffs himself using the other one. He can then grab this one and go and get a buff, and this would then replace the one-handed weapon. So he'd go from one-handed item. So he'd go from 4 to 5 with the first one, and then an extra one. So he'd go to 6 nature with that one. So we can get him to 6 pretty easily. By the way, another way of doing this, if I just go and press space, it then comes back. If I press the O key, I can see all of the different units. Sorry, all the different items that buff the magic schools. So some of these will be, and really we're probably looking more at the greater and lesser, but we can eventually get into the very powerful and grab the Tree Lord staff. Elemental Mastery would be cool as well. That one does. That one, so I think, just goes and boosts other things. None of those. Actually, there's a Gossamer Veil. This one here, Glamour Magic +1. You need to have Glamour Magic 3 to actually access that one. That's actually fine as well. It gives you stealth and blur, but it does give you the Glamour Magic of +1. This is actually going to be good for us as well. Now we can get that one straight away and then give that to our Daughters of Avalon and the Mother of Avalon, for example, and sort of buff them up as well. He can get hold of this. They can't. So that's very doable for us. Those we don't worry about. Earth Boots we can't get. This one here is that's too far down the tree to worry about. Now we've got sort of, this one won't be right. If I press N, it's still going to just do everything. I'll just press O again. So I've still got to just go through it bit by bit. The Brazen Vessel, the Bloodstone, the Meteoric Iron. This will be Earth, I'm thinking. Actually, no, it's Astral. You need to have Astral and Earth to be able to then go and do this one. So that's not going to be doable for us. Skull of Fire, Water Bracelet, Ring of Wizardry. Requires Astral Magic of 7. We don't have that. Ring of Sorcery. Requires Astral Magic 6. The Moonvine Bracelet. This one gives you nature of +1. And you need Astral 1, though, and nature 3. Now, we don't have any Astral at all. It's too expensive for us to break into Astral. So we won't be able to grab that one. We've got the Mirage Crystal, and then the Ring of the False Prophet. It just goes Priest level 1. So a lot of these are not going to be available to us. We won't worry about the uniques. Okay, I think that's fine just to really sort of go for these Thistle Maces easily. We're going to be able to get them anyway, but it's going to be more getting this one here, which requires a level 5 nature mage to be able to get that one. If we use him the way he is, we are going to be able to build these. We can then give these to our other mages, and that will become extremely powerful. So that's a very, very good one. And they do awaken Vine Men as well. So I like this. I like this. This looks looking good. It's very expensive, but it's doable because we're probably going to find a lot of nature things around us anyway, I would guess. Anyway, that's the items. So we can just press escape, come back out. Spells. Have a quick look at these as well. Which ones would be important for us? If we go to enchantment, maybe, and we'll just press N. Actually, if we press G, actually probably N. We'll go to nature spells. I'm looking more for the for how much we have to have. I think we're going to be okay. Like most of these are sort of 6, which we can if we get that staff, he's going to be at level 6 anyway. So he's going to be able to do most of these big spells at the back end of the game. If we just press escape, just go for each of these. This one summons in different units. Now, is there any glamours? No. Okay, alteration. So I've still got it just with nature. Easy, we can get all of those ultimately, including Mother Oak. This is probably one that we have to really aim for. Level 5, 50 nature gems. But then what that one gives us is we end up with heaps of nature gems, 10 nature gems each month. And so that's actually going to be really, really important that we aim for that one. So this will be what drives us, I think. We'll go for nature for Mother Oak. Not early because we need to get to level 5. So we need to get to the second level of construction to get the buff to be able to then start to go down this area. What else do we get though? So we get a lot of protection in through here, and that will be okay actually. So that's actually not too bad. So that's probably the one that we aim for. That one there, level 5 of alteration. Evocation, poison clouds. Yep, that's just in nature. Construction. Again, we just need to get to the lesser. The lesser magic items. I think. Hang on, was it that? Items. Back in here. No, it was the greater magic items with the thistle mace. That's what we have to aim for. So just go back out of there again and just go back into spells with S. Construction. So we need to end up with level 5 there, as well as level 5 in alteration. Enchantment, healing, regeneration is useful. We'll get there eventually after we get the others, so I don't think we have to worry about these. So I'm just getting a bit of a feel as to where I want to go with magic without spending too much time with it. Haruspex is level 3, which allows us to check this, like look for magic sites in different provinces, which would be fairly cool. So that one sort of works. Panic. Yeah, so there's some good spells in here because I'm thinking that a lot of our low level mages will be able to cast this stuff, and we're going to be able to deck them out fairly well. If we can get the Mother Oak, we're going to be able to really push nature, even though we're going with glamour. So that's thaumaturgy. We don't need to go any further. Let's go back to conjuration now. Let's have a look at glamour. So now these are unique for us, like a herd of unicorns with nature and glamour. That's cool. The Ku seed in through here as well. So what does that one give us? A pack of Ku seed. These are huge dark green feyhounds from the land of the ever young. They're sacred. Wow. Okay. So even more sacred animals. And if we do go with if we got that dread, we then got these guys also then causing all sorts of mayhem as well. I love it. I love it. This is really cool. So the unicorns are they sacred as well? They should be. Legendary. I don't know. It's not sort of telling us there. Where did the other one say it? It's the Ku seed. It's at the back end. Units are considered sacred in man. There we go. So that even those will actually help. Glamour gems require 10. Summons a unicorn. Yeah, so yeah, summons some of them. Yeah, number of effects 10. So this is actually now these are ritual spells, meaning that we don't cast them in combat. We cast them out of combat. We get to keep these units. So that's really cool. Just to get level 3 in conjuration actually works very well for us with only 5 nature gems to get these guys. So that's sort of more mid-level type, mid-game type stuff. Alteration, blur, mirror image. These are basic things we'd be able to get fairly early anyway. So that's not too bad. Evocation. Yeah, nothing much in there. Enchantment. Gift of True Sight. We don't need this stuff. So that's not really important to us. Thaumaturgy, again, got the Chorus Master. So this is actually where we do like a communions, which is going to be complicated, so let's not worry about it. Maybe we do it at some other point. That's at level 1 Thaumaturgy for a glamour. Okay, that's pretty cool. Let's just press space. So so I think that's a good one for us to go with, I think. So the 4-8 works for what we're looking at through here. I hope that all makes sense. I hope I haven't sort of gone too fast or too slow with that one. But so that was the. So we looked at the units. So just to summarise what we did, we went to the description in units. We had a look at what we actually have in through here. We know that we've got recuperation, so we don't need to get that again type thing. We've got disease resistance, so that's helpful as well. These are sacred, so we're looking at the sacreds. They're already pretty powerful. The hit points are 16. The unicorns are 27 hit points. So we've got like a lot of hit points with these units. These are going to be quite powerful. They're going to be very fast at combat speed 28 already. We could have gone with quickness and made them into what 50 in combat speed 56, which means that they'd be basically in the middle of the enemy army at the start of the second turn in the combat. Their morale is high, so there's a lot to like about these guys. They do have the kite shield, which gives them a lot of protection. So we don't need to buff the protection so much. Their protection is high, but also with the chance of parrying at 6. This is an enormous amount actually. It's going to be very interesting to look at some of the combat that we end up going through with these. These are good even if they don't become sacred. So these are actually fine. And then we've got the other sacred as well, which is got the great sword. Doesn't have a shield, which makes it a little bit more weak in that sort of sense, but it is stealthy. Good hit points, good protection, not very good defense, but which is a bit of a shame because it means it's going to get hit, and then it's just going to have to rely on its chainmail and full helmet to be able to protect itself, which won't be great, to be honest. That's going to be a little bit more tricky, but if we can get the fear thing happening, then that's going to work from fairly well. So that's sort of that. The fear works because we just have to close the gap basically, and just get in amongst them. And once we're in amongst them, we're going to be then getting them to rout, and that's really the name of the game. So with that in mind, we are going to then go to our bless effects. We've got 10 points to spend. We have dread, so we grab dread, and we've got 3 more bless effects available. Now, we don't need this. We don't need poison resistance. We've already got that. Low light vision. Bless units will be able to see in the dark just as well as a cat. So we get dark vision 50. That's actually not bad. And resilient. They get +1 extra hit points. That's not bad as well. Back over through here we have undreaming. All sacred units will be more resistant versus sleep effects. So we get magic resistance versus sleep. The chance of waking up each combat round is also doubled. So if that's used against us, that would be cool as well. That's only one bless point. We've still got a few more to get. Heroism. So we get all sacred units will gain +50% more experience, which wouldn't be bad as well. Quiet stride. All stealthy sacred units move with exceptional stealth. So we don't. It would be okay, but we don't really need that. True sight. All sacred units can see through illusions and glamour. Now that's 3, is it? Yeah, that's 3. Glamour 3. And blur. Actually, blurred. Bless units will become blurred and difficult to see and attack in melee. Attacking units will have their attack skill reduced by 2. Attackers, yeah. That's not bad. We can go that. That then gets us everything spent. So we've now got everything back down to. So we've got blur and dread. So that I think that works. And blur will be there. Like we don't. The dread is incarnate, but blur isn't, which will give them a lot more protection. So yeah. So the attacking the 2 hits are going to be a lot less coming in. Actually, Warden's saying the Wardens already have true sight. Actually, Yeah, they do as well, I think. I think you're right. I don't think we need it. I think this works out very, very well. Now, we've got 32 design points left, and we really need this way, way high. At least 8, I think. So we're now at negative 73. This is with him being awake. If we make him dormant, and I'm happy enough to do that, we've got 77 to play with. If we bolster that one up to 10, it's probably a bit too much. 9 would be cool. We can make lots and lots of temples, so we can boost this one up anyway. Let's default to 9. Now we know that we need gold and some productivity, so let's just bolster these up as well, and then we'll try to make other things work with this. Did we go with drain? Minus 85. I can't go any higher than the 2 there. If I make them 1, I get to minus 5. Oh, damn it. If I go to 8, that's minus 3. It's still not going to work for me. I don't really want to go that way. We go minus 1 luck, which may, like, it gives us what we need. Maybe get some growth. Lord of the Forest. Yeah, actually that's true. We can go up to 3 there. Well, what do we do with this? What do we do with this? Do we go with 1 drain? Still at 43 off. I don't really want to come back. Okay. I need the extra nature. We know that we want that. Do we make it so that it's maybe hotter? It's minus 3. I don't want to go to imprisoned. That's going to be 3 years of waiting for that to happen. That's 37. Minus 5. I'm screwed here no matter what I do, aren't I? No matter what I do, I'm not going to be able to get what I want. The growth could be good, actually. So, you've got heat as well. Damn it, this minus 5 is such a pain in the ass. If I brought that one back, it's just too hard for me after that. Or is it? If I go back to the items again. Oh, for the boosters, we can get this one straight away. That gets us up to from 3 to 4 if we start at 3. We can't get blur. Actually, no, I really do want the other one. But I'm thinking of this one here, the Moonvine Bracelet. You only have to be nature level 3. We need astral for that one, so we can't get that one. And the new paths cost me too much. No, go back up. All right, we're just going to have to take a hit here. It's a lot of points to leave behind. That's a lot of points. $37 is too much. Okay, we can do that. Get to 5 anyway. Or you can't get to 9. We can get that one to 5. That's 13 points. Well, that sort of makes it a bit easier as well. How many gems is in power from 3 to 4 though? I'm not sure. I think it's still just one every empower. Isn't it every empowerment is still the same amount? It's still a lot of gems. That'll do us. We've got 13 points. Okay, when we do this, like this may not be a good run because of what we've done in here. I think we need the Dominion. Like if I go back, I can get to 7, but I can only then get 7 units. If there's 7 Unicorn Riders, it's not bad. But if they're just 7 Rangers, it is. Do we go with that? Look, if we're not sure, this one's got 8 design points. Let's just try this one here and see how we go. Yeah, let's go that way. So what we'll do is, so hi Gloryfire, how you going? And hi to anybody else out there as well. Okay, so what we'll do is we've got so we're down to 8 points. Now, if we do a shift question mark in here as well, we've got Control S to save the current pretender design. We're going to do that one. And this is the Lord of the Forest, isn't it? So we'll just go Control S. What should we call him? Don't know. I'm trying to think of something from mythology that would sort of work. I keep on going to things like Ents and stuff, but that's not going to be. I'll just call him Tree. My mind's gone completely blank. Tremaine. There we go. Tremaine the Green. So there we go. So that'll be Tremaine the Green will be our Titan. So this is a Titan at level 3. When we choose from this group, these can walk around. These are basically strong combatants. They already have like lots of hit points, etc., etc. So anyway, so Tremaine will be our god. Just go and cancel that one. So we've now got him saved away. So we can always bring him in again at some other point. So it's worth doing that every time you do this one here. You have one unspent. We've got one bless. Oh, we do hit 2. Okay, add bless effects. I'm dreaming. Okay, this is all sacred units will be more resistant. Yeah, let's do that. Resilient. Actually, the extra hit points. Let's go that way. So we get resilient to get the extra hit points. Blur and dread. We'll go that way. Thanks for that. That was really cool. So thanks, Rocklight. And yes, we've got all those things there, and we'll now just go Control S again, and just go OK. I'll just go Control L and see if we've got 2 of them. We do have 2 of them. Control S. Right, now Control L, and we've got Tremaine the Green there. So we know which one we have. So this is what we're going in with. Now, if we playing and if we find that we should have done something different, at least you've got it saved, which I don't remember that being in Dom 5 either. Just little things like that make such a difference. Yeah, so the extra hit point never hurts. It doesn't. And I don't know how that's going to affect the knights, because you've got the hit points of the mount and the hit points of the knight. So it may be a +2 in that instance. So we'll just click on OK. So Tremaine the Green. Okay, all praise Tremaine the Green. Now we have in through here, you can actually save this portion, but nothing else, unfortunately. And so I just did you can only save one. So if I go Control L and load them in, the game settings have now been loaded in. And so I've just set these up. So I've got minor story events are enabled, score graphs are enabled. We'll put them on just so we can see what's going on. Diplomacy, this is new, so this is now binding. This will be good for multiplayer games. I haven't changed much else in through there. I'm going to allow renaming so that if you guys do want to grab units, that will be fine. Number of starting provinces. I don't know how we'll do that because I guess everyone wants to have units named after them. It's easy in Twitch because people just buy them basically with their channel points. Okay, so Glory folks, I only hoped to let you know that thank you for your videos. When I was sad and depressed back in 2011, I watched your videos to go to sleep. And okay, thanks for that. Yeah, so actually a lot of people do listen to me drone on to get their sleep. It's funny, it's quite a common comment. Anyway, we'll just go with all of this stuff. So we're just going to go for the thrones. Let's not bother with the Cataclysm at this stage. We'll just go with the throne victory, but we'll add a couple of tier 2 thrones. So we'll go with 2 tier 2s, 6 tier 1s, and we just need 6 points. So we can get both tier 2s and 2 of the tier 1s to win, or we can get all 6 tier 1s, or 4 of those and 1 of these. So they've got a bit of choice in through there with the thrones. Click on OK. And away we go. So love everything about it, except it's not released yet. Yes, it's the trouble. So you've got one of those calm voices, Daz. Thanks for that. Okay, so here we go. So it's now dividing the world. So this is, like again, one thing I love about being able to save these pretenders so easily, because I think in previously you had to go out, build your pretender in a different portion of the game, then bring it back in and load it in. But being able to save it as you go is great. So Muzzle Paint saying, you sir have the best content. Thank you for that. Jordan is saying it's weird that the New Nations is probably one of the parts I'm least excited for. That bless the spells, etc. Yeah, I'm the same actually, to be honest. I find the game is so rich anyway. The New Nations are fun, but they're not the reason I play it. This is always just the same blurb, so we don't need to worry about that one, and that is as well. So there's nothing new in there. But I don't even think. I think it's just a common thing. I don't know why it's there, to be honest. Anyway, it's been there forever. So here we are. We're on the edge of the map. If we scroll out, we're in the top of the donut. So the donut must extend around here, I would guess. So we've got water in through this other side. Now we've got some interesting things to look for. We do actually have a water province. We've got to cross from this province to this province can be done, but it has to go through water, which we can't. We don't have access to that. We're not going to get. We're not. Whoops, hang on. We're not likely to. I keep on using WASD. We're not likely to end up getting this frozen over very much at all. So getting to there is not going to be all that easy. Now we start off. One thing I do want to just keep tabs on a little bit is our resources at 140 and our income of 506 for this province. Mainly the resources, because as we take other locations, we are going to be picking up other resources. Now, we didn't actually get any other dominion anywhere else around here. Iron Peaks back over through here is plains and mountains, which is going to give us low income but excellent resources, so we can get more resources there. Barn Dagor as well is going to be at Waste and River, so we do end up getting very low income and hinders movement. Many more magic sites though, so we can look for magic sites in there. This one here is going to be interesting. Fenica has got farmland and river, and this one is going to be high income but very, very low resources, so we're not going to get resources from there. So my first thoughts is to go, there's actually one of the thrones. That would be interesting to see that one. We're probably going to be able to secure that one fairly readily. It looks like it's only got 2 provinces next to it though, so establishing that one's not such a big deal. We do actually have the Fever Fens, which is a swamp and a river. Again, going to be low income, or very low income, but with more magic sites. And another one in through there. So our best provinces are here. If we're looking to expansion, what we don't want to be doing is building castles, or not necessarily building castles right next to other castles. So this is called the cap circle, because it feeds basically into man. This is then sort of like secondary elements we could then sort of go and build. I like the idea of Nicaea, but to get there we're going to have to go through Fenica, and Fenica being a farmland is much more likely to have knights. So we're going to have to prepare for that one through there. I'm not going to attack the first round. We're going to see who we've got. So we've got this is a Castellan who gives us up to 3 squads. So we get all the bonuses we want. This one's ideal as a prophet. So you become the prophet straight away. Not ideal actually, to be honest, because and I don't remember this being in Dom 5 as well. He's got fairly high encumbrance because he's wearing this, and when he goes in and does his spell casting, he's going to get fatigued very, very quickly. So we have to be aware of that one. We would have been better off having a priest or someone else as the actual prophet, but he'll be fine to be the prophet. Then we've got Winfrith back in through here. This is one of our foresters where we can then go and have a look at other places. So let's go into Fenica, and then we'll go across this other side. We won't worry about whatever this one is at this stage. We'll look at that one a bit later on. All right, so now we have to go back in and recruit. So we'll just press R. And we've got 7 holy points. We've got 600 gold. We wanted to go and get the Daughters of Avalon, which will then save the gold, or we can go and get a Mother of Avalon straight away and get the slightly better research. I might grab a Mother, unless we need the... So let's just go and get one of those. We're going to get one of those this turn. We want to get as many of the Knights of Avalon as we can. So the resources we have is only 139. We're not going to get very many. This one's a 66. This one's 28. We can get a lot more Wardens. I'm going to have to go with Wardens, I think. Although, if we're going to go after Fenica, let's just exit that for a minute. If we just press T or go to this one here, which is the army setup, these are just spearmen. at length 3. We know that they're not going to do well against cavalry. We do actually have a group of longbowmen though as well, which will be good against most things. I think we're going to... what do we do to supplement this? I want to start to get the sacreds pretty much right from the start if we can. So I'm thinking... yeah, it's going to be like 12 turns before we can start to really make good use of the sacreds. Okay, I'll go back to research. The long spears. Well, I can get a heap of them if I wanted to. I can then just put them in amongst the other spearmen, which will help a little bit. It's not ideal, but it's one way we can do it. If we go with these guys, how many can we get? We can get 4, and these are not going to be any good in the coming battle against Fennica. They'll be okay elsewhere. It would give us blur. Maybe we'll do this. We'll just grab a few of these, and actually, we might even grab some more of the longbowmen. Let's just do that for now. Gold is not a problem, so that's why I went with her and not with the daughters at this stage. When gold becomes a problem, we'll start to go back the other way. So we don't have great gold, we don't have great resources. We'll just go and leave that one there, but we'll make up for it soon enough. So we'll exit that one. That's all we need to do this turn. Actually, what about the mercenaries? Sorry, where is it? That's the bid for mercenaries. Oh, what are these? These Burrick City Guard. There's heaps of them. 100 militias. No, they're going to get slaughtered. There's a lot of them, but they're going to get absolutely slaughtered. So we won't worry about bidding for those either. We'll just save our money. So we'll leave that one through there. So glory to Avalon, says MTI Red. Yes. So neither are really good against cavalry, to be honest. Heavy cavalry anyway. Doesn't care much about it's not the longbows. It's more the... I was thinking about getting the long range, but I think we've got enough chaff in here to be able to deal with this one. But we'll see what we're up against first. There may not be very many. We just don't know. So that's all we can do this turn. So we'll end our turn here. I always think that I've forgotten something to do. Proclamation from Maine. Ulm is on the map as well. So Brandwind, the blind one, appears at the gates of your castle. Cool. So we've got an event already. So we'll... suddenly Brandwind, the blind one, appears at the gates of your castle and wanted to fight for your cause. Excellent. Brandwind, the blind one, is the oldest and most revered of all the witches of Avalon. She has lived for more than a century and was one of the first witches to study the hidden lore of the Tuatha. Although she is blind, she's rumoured that she can see all that happened in the kingdom. Excellent. That's pretty cool, actually. That's great. So exit. So that's a freebie that we got. Back in through here. Plains and River is where we are and through here. Now, it's still 140 resources, so we'll just watch this turn by turn. We now actually have more information about this group. We have a spy in through here. Ah, cool. This one has only got militias and archers and heavy infantries. So that is not such a big problem for us. So we can sort of now see what's going on in there. Now, she's come in. She's already got an affliction. She is blind. She's already old. She's 199, so she's not going to last for long. But she is... Wow, I wish we had got her later on. There's our Astral. There's the Astral that we were looking for before. 23 research. Well, all we can really do at this stage is just research. So we'll get her researching. Research magic spells. And we don't really have any great... we'll just do research. Oh, wow, she's come in as well. The Mother of Avalon has... she's only 74. So she's got years and years ahead of her, and she is a Nature 3 mage. Not that it matters, we've already got our Nature 3 mage, but we can get her to Nature 4 and 5 very, very easily. She's got the glamour. You know, actually the other one that we have is with her. If we can keep her alive until we get the... if we go across to Forge Magic Items... Actually, if I press I, does that one show it? No, that's not going to be it. Forge Magic Item. Now if I just do a shift question mark in through here, view all items as Control A, So Control A, we can see everything. Where is that vine bracelet? The moon vine is very powerful. Okay, that's miles away. Yeah, we're not going to be able to do that one. So that's not going to happen. But that's one that she could get that one if we do get there, and if she's not decrepit by that stage. Now, there's another thing we can get of that actually keeps them alive for longer, and I forget what that is. There's actually a magical item that that helps with the aging process. Wish there was a way you could search for unaging. Surely it's got to be one of these sort of things: fire, tamed lightning, frost, talisman, foot, snake, slave collar, courage. I'm just looking for unaging. I'm just looking down the bottom to see what we can find, because that's going to be worth aiming for now. What's that one there? No, blood magic, that's no good for us. Enchanted salt. There's a heart replacement thing that does, but I think it's blood magic. Okay, yeah. And the blood boots. Yeah, so we're not going to be able to get it, really, are we? We also need it fairly early on. Yeah, these are too far out. It won't be helmets. I don't think it'll be any of these either. I think it's got to be in here somewhere. The anti-aging items later research should be a powerful item. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna lose her before we get a chance to really make use of her, unfortunately. So yeah, Chalice Construction 8 stops. So if we go into this has changed. I think this is now 9. I think. So the Chalice is, where's the Chalice? Just looking for. There we go. This is the Seeking Goblet. This has changed, hasn't it? These are the unique items. Is it further down? Is it back in here somewhere? The Boots of Youth. Okay, where's that? I wasn't really looking at them. So we've got Fish Scale, Long Strides, Chi, Behemoth, Birch, Rangers, Pixie, Messenger, Stone, Earth, Winged, Brimstone. Then we go into very powerful Quickness. Yeah, there's Youth there. So it slows down aging 90%. Requires Blood Mage 2. Alright, so we're not going to be able to get those. Okay, so that's not going to happen. Where's that Chalice, I wonder? That's the Chalice there. Yeah, slows down aging 100%. And that's requires Astral in Nature. We would be able to get there if we could do it, but that's way too far off. Okay, so we're not going to be able to do that. So we'll just still get our research, but we'll just go ahead with the plan, and we'll just go for as long as she can actually, as long as she can do it. So we'll just go back into research. We do need to go back into our spells. Now we do have Alteration was the one that if we just go back into Nature again. Was it Nature or Glamour? Either one of them was actually okay. Mother Oak. So we do want to get Alteration. We get to level 2. We do get Enlarge. And Group Blur as well. Sorry, that's at level 2. Mirror, yeah, we get Blur there as well. Blurred Body. Yeah, this isn't bad Alteration. But I think we might just go with Construction. We do have Enchantment as well. Heal at level 3. I don't want to get too distracted from where I want to go. I do want Alteration 5, and I want Construction as well. So we'll go with if we go to Construction. So 1 is the magic trinkets, 3 is the lesser, and then greater is 5. So we want to get to 5. So we want to get to 3 initially. And we might as well finish off Alteration level 2. So let's just go that way, I think. Actually, well, training her more in Nature magic should raise her age limit. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, well, I think it's still 125. I think. Hang on, let's have a look. Yeah, it's still 125. Start of old age for her. So she'll get afflictions over time. So that's going to be a bit of a problem, but at least we make use of her for the short period. So we've got a small period, but this I'm really happy with Bloodud. Now we do actually have now our group is now ready to go. We now have the prophet. I've got a choice of 3 areas we can go into. Now, Fennica, we've got 120 enemy units, so there's a lot of enemy units in here. The army consists of mainly militias, archers, and heavy infantries. So the archers are going to be the problem here, I think. The militias, not so much. Let's have a look at the others. If we go to the Iron Peaks, God, I keep on pressing the keyboard, the WASD. If we start off in the Iron Peaks and have a bit of a look, this one's only got 40 enemy units. It does consist of heavy infantries and heavy cavalries, but the heavy cavalries don't feature heavily, like that's secondary. It's not too bad. This one here is horse tribe cavalry, so this is going to be horse archers. That's going to be hard to nail down. I think we could take this one out, the Iron Peaks, and that then should give us resources. So at the moment we've only got 140 resources. We need to get more resources in, and our best bets are really this one over through here with the plains and the river, and this one as well. We don't have a real lot of rich, like resource-rich areas. So let's go and just go back into T, and we'll just go and grab these guys, put them back into that area, and we now can have 3 different groups. So we'll put this one down. I'm thinking I might change this to be the just the bodyguard for now, just so we actually don't do anything else with those. So they'll just guard the commander. I'll bring this one in a little bit closer. Yeah, just in there somewhere. We'll go with the, because he's a high-level commander, we can make these into line formation, and we'll just pop these in the front. Now it's mainly going to be the archers that we need to be sort of working with. I'll keep them there, and I think I'll allow them to move forward. The archers possibly, actually no, the archers should be able to reach whatever they want in here. So that will be okay. We'll just go back to the longbowmen and place them in here. Now, there's no archers coming back the other way, so the longbowmen, we don't have to put them in a straight line. We can just leave them in a clump if we wanted to. The line formation would be okay, but we don't have to. If we just keep them in a box formation, it just means that for the knights to get around the outside edge, in fact, we might just go and grab this one as well and just move that one a bit closer in with the longbowmen. I'm going to go to the longbowmen and have them go to fire and keep distance. And we want to fire and keep distance at enemy cavalry, perhaps. Just to try to do some damage. They're going to be slow, actually. That's not going to be that's not going to work. I might just go closest enemy, because we do have the accuracy to be able to pull this off. So that way we'll ignore the knights for now and just see how we go. And we're going to have to rely on him with his spell casting to do a bit more there. Oops, leave that one there. Go back to this one. This is line formation. I could do a hold and attack where it basically holds their position for 2 turns before advancing, but then that will then mean that the archers may advance. Yeah, I think I'll just leave it as none and just let them do their own thing. But they're in a line, so that will actually help. And then we've got the commander at the back, and so his battle orders. Now we will actually do a. We're going to be, as we sort of go further and further into the game, we're always going to be wanting to cast Divine Blessing. We also want to make sure that we stay with the morale, so we'll cast a couple of Sermons of Courage, and then we'll just let him do his own spell casting. So we'll just let him do it that way, I think. So that will do us for the scripting. We won't take anyone else into the combat because we don't have enough spells really to warrant it. So we'll escape out of that one. In he goes. So we'll start here, Iron Peaks, where we are going. Actually, that's not our Dominion. This is important because they're going to get a morale boost if we do that. If we go into here though, and we don't get it there, I'm going to have to do it this way. So we'll just go with that side there. We'll go we'll go into that one there. What I'm concerned about is we have Dominion in here. That's going to give us a boost to our morale anyway. Now we've sort of essentially want to get everyone to run. The fact that these guys are fighting inside our domain also diminishes them. Now for the next part of this, what we're going to be wanting to do is to bring another commander down into here as we come back, so that we can then go into Fennica, or we are going to be wanting to go into there. And I think we could possibly do that with some of our knights. So let's just go back into recruitment. We've got another one coming with those. That's okay. Again, I want to sort of make use of these, but we just don't have the resources to be able to do it effectively. The Wardens of Avalon just aren't... Their combat speed is very slow. We're better off just getting some of these guys to charge them down, just the Knights of Man. They still use a lot of resources. If I'm going to go that way, I might as well really go with this one. Gold is not a problem. Landless Knights are slow. These guys here, these are cheap with the 19 resources. Yeah, I can only get a handful of those. Yeah, so that chews up all the resources. And then we just need someone to take these into combat. And this one here is 22 resources. If I grab that one, I get one less again. If I use a forester, these have only got 10 leadership, so I can't do much with them. That's going to be -1 morale. I just need to get something to go and actually get in amongst the horses, and I think that these guys would be the way to do it. So just sort of planning ahead a little bit. I think the best one really for me to use, what has this one got? 10 leadership, that's no good. These are all, that's a 50. I could use one of them. These are too expensive. It's only a 10. So she is, it's just a clump. We've already got one of them on the map. The monks do a little bit of research. We're going to need them at some point. They've got basic leadership as well. You know, I think we'll take in the mother along with, we've got a monk there as well. I might as well grab him as well this turn. I think I will get a Castellan. Actually, if I get a Castellan, I don't need the other. We need to get more of these foresters. So we'll grab a forester. That gives me 16 left. That's 7 resources there, so I can get 2 of those. That'll do. So we'll just get those. And then we'll take them in with the Mother of Avalon next. So she'll just come in and she can also then possibly even start site searching after that. So we'll just go and we'll leave it there like this, I think. That gives me another scout. I think. Alright, so that will do. Just press the N key. We've got this scout that needs to keep on moving through. Let's go into the Fever Fens and have a look across this side, find out where the next area actually is that we can have a look at. That's everything now moved. We'll end our turn. Abyssia, Macacha, Vanheim. Okay, that's interesting. Now we now know 5 of them. We can always find it out anyway. There's a battle in Iron Peaks. That'll be interesting. And we do have a famous hero. So, hey, we won. Let's view the battle. Wonder how difficult this will be. See how our scripting went. Now, pause it. We've got a few little things we need to turn on. So we can turn on the team coloured squares, the show the grid, and show the combat round. I really like this. This is new. It shows it up over here so you can see what the combat round actually is. So typically the spell casting will be once per turn if there's going to be spell casting. And also the actual movement, we can then sort of gauge how far someone can move in a single turn. I'll go with the standard battle log to start with until things start to happen. Then we'll have a look at the weather and scales. This is new as well. So we've got, there's no rain, it is daylight, and there's no dominion, there's nothing at all in here. It's just completely vanilla. So let's go and exit. That can be important later on. There's actually a day-night cycle now. When we actually look at that one, I forget what the keyboard shortcut is for the weather and scales. That's F2. So this is interesting. If you start off in daylight, you've got 100 turns to fight in daylight. Then you've got 50 turns of twilight where the berserkers stop berserking at that point and stuff like this. And then you've got, after that, you then go into nighttime where I forget what happens. I think most people then sort of start to lose heart. And it's similarly, you can have battles that start at nighttime, go through twilight and end up in daylight as well. So it's quite fascinating, again, quite intricate the way the game actually does work. Let's have a look and see what we're up against. There's more here than I thought, unfortunately. There's a lot more. I wasn't expecting anywhere near this number of cavalry. These are just heavy cavalry from Iron Peaks. So they've got the length 3 lance. We knew that was going to be coming. So we've got 2 of them per square. Yeah, size 5 is what they actually have. 23 combat speed. That'll be based on the Warhorse. Yeah, nothing much we can do about that one. The morale is 11 because this is the trouble. We're fighting in an area it's not our domain. It's their home province, so they get an extra morale, and that's going to make life a little bit more tricky. We're going to lose a lot here, I think. So we'll see what actually happens here. These are the things on the battlefield that will block things up. We do have a rock there. That's going to very large stone. This is size 4. That means that when the cavalry hit this area, they're going to split off in around this area, but we're probably going to be moving past that ourselves. So more likely our guys will actually split off at that point. We'll just watch what actually happens. Yeah, see how he dropped out? And he's only got 2. Now he's in behind. Now we are firing. We do actually have the range, which is good. And we did do some damage to the commanders. Now they're going to come up this other side. Divine Blessing. These guys have now all been blessed. So we now actually have Blur, +1 hit points and +1 morale to these guys. So the Blur will then make them a bit harder for the enemy to hit. I don't mind if I lose too many of these. I can always replace them. So it's still combat round number 1. Oh, by the way, the combat rounds are, so the closest enemy, we're going to be doing damage in here. We now have little pips to see the damage, so there's actually some damage that's coming to this other side as well. Because of the high accuracy of these guys, I wish that they were just a little bit further forward. The fact that they could fire right from there, in future I'll hold an attack to keep these back, because the more firing we can do before this actually starts, the better. So that's actually one thing we've learnt from this battle. So these longbowmen don't need to need to move forward to be able to then start firing. This one here has taken some damage. It's the horse, actually this grouping through here. Hit points are still the same, 10 out of 10, but his war horse will have taken some damage. Backing through that other side. Yep, that's okay. These are going to get closer and closer. So hopefully, we'll see what actually happens in through here. What we're going to do is press number 3. We can start to watch what's actually happening. So the longbowman hit the mounted commander with a ranged attack with a longbow for 4 points of damage. That was the commander back in here. We'll see the pips. So one of these commanders got hit. Then we had longbowman hit the warhorse with a ranged attack. That was the one that we just looked at. And longbowman hit heavy cavalry with a ranged attack but did no damage. That was in the arm. So we'll just keep on going. It's quite convoluted the way that the combat does work, but it works very, very well. Did one of those arrows do damage and hit the bush? I don't know if bushes are calculated in the way that arrows hit. They hit in a square. If there is a bush in a square, that not in this instance, but if there is a bush, I'm assuming it's based on size points, and bushes are sizes in there, so I'm assuming, yes, it could hit a bush. Now they've hit, and they've actually hit in with, you can see through there, with this one through here, they've got the, they missed the spearman. The warhorse hits the spearman in the body for 10 points of damage and killed the target. Missed the spearman and then hits in the body with the hoof for 16 points of damage. So it's not a, so it's the warhorses here. It's not actually the lances that are doing the damage here. So I was expecting this to be a charge, actually a light lance. A charge bonus for the first strike. So the charge bonus depends on the combat speed and size, only for flyers. The bonus damage is limited to half the strength of the charging unit. So so there is actually extra damage coming in for that first attack. But they're coming in and doing damage all the way across. We're now losing units. They're going to wrap up this corner here, unfortunately. So let's play on Z, which is slow mode. Now we're attacking back at this point, and we are doing some damage. So we're missing mainly. They're now missing us. It's no longer, the charge has now been dissipated, which is good. So we can just keep on going. They've just hit us again for 18 points of damage. Yep, so they did hit us there. That was actually, if we go to 4 and have a look and see what actually happened there. So the attack got through, so that's the 2-hit roll. Then the charge, so that was the first time. They increased the damage by 5. They rolled a 12, which was lucky. And so our protection isn't fantastic. It's only 7. We only rolled a 5 with the random numbers. They rolled a 12, which is a really, really good roll. And they've got a damage roll of 18. So we're always going to be behind the 8 ball here. We have to try to overwhelm them. What's this guy doing? He's okay. So we've taken a bit of damage here. We have 1 attack per round in round 2. We're doing some damage. Oh wow, there we go. Another 23. This is interesting. So there are actually we do try to do a repel damage in through here. Repel value versus defense value. So we actually got this because it's the same length. Actually no, they're still using their light lances. So the warhorse, in fact, it was the warhorse itself. Morale. They had to then roll a morale, but they did actually go and get past that one. The attacker was damaged by the repel. So the repel did do some damage back over through here to one of the horses, and then the attack roll was went in. This is the 2-hit finally for the actual attack that they then did. The damage roll was 14 plus 10, which is the random number, plus 8 plus 5. So we did very, very poorly. 11 points of damage. We got hit in the arm, and so in this case here, its damage exceeded maximum possible hit area, so it was reduced to half whatever our hit point is. So we took 5 points of damage. So that's the 5 that we see through there. Where's the 23? Actually, if I just go and press minus. There we go. So this one here, the warhorse misses. Okay, this one here, the heavy cavalry hits the spearman in the body with the light lance for 23 points of damage. So it got through. It just managed to get past our dodge. The charge increased the damage by 4. So again, they're getting extra damage in through there. Incredible random numbers again. They're getting amazing random numbers. We're not rolling anything at all. 7 is sort of the average, sort of. So 23 points of damage when you sort of subtract that from that, which is not good. So it's not good. So nothing much is really going well for us in this instance. I'll just go to the bottom of the list again. I won't keep on looking at that. I'll just go to number 3 so we can sort of see the damage that's actually then done. So these guys still haven't arrived yet. The archers should be really getting ready to fire, and we should be casting more spells fairly soon. Now I wanted to protect I wanted to see what would happen in here. Now we just did a courage, so we just cast courage on these guys. So their morale is high. Their magic bonus is +1. So they've got a squad bonus of +1 because of the leader. So our morale is still okay, even though we're taking a lot of damage. But they're also, it's not so much the amount of kills that they get, it actually comes down to the amount of damage it's done. And we can see there's a few high-level pips that are now appearing in these guys. And so their morale may also suffer. They've got less morale than us. They are taking damage, it's just not a lot of damage. There we go, we just did a damage where we killed off one of the horses. This is all important stuff. So the kills also count with this. It's just basically the damage and casualties. Okay, these guys are now coming in with these heavy infantry. Now, come on, don't lose too many units, guys. So we're losing more on the edges here. There's more heavy cavalry coming around the outside edge. There's a spell that just went in. So we are being wrapped up in through here. Surely their morale has got to drop here fairly soon. We'll be testing morale all the time with this squad. These squads here are still doing well. These are now in front. If we have a look at our commander, his fatigue is 33. It's not bad yet. He does have blur, so it's going to be hard for these guys. If they're trying to get to the back areas, which is probably what they're aiming to do, they'll avoid these, but these will start to run fairly soon, I would assume. We're losing too many. It's combat round 4 now. God, we're still going. We'd be doing morale check after morale check in through here. These guys are still actually operating. That one there was hit by something. I'm not sure. So every turn I'm expecting these to turn tail and run. There we go, 2 more. Surely they've got to run now. This is way too much damage, but there's still the morale is still hanging in there. They're doing well. Their morale is 11, so no, the morale has not dropped it for any of these. Now they're going to come up. Now they're trying to get to our archers. The archers retreating. No, their morale is still good. What they're doing is just moving away so they can then do something else. I don't know if they'll start to come back in here or not. I'm not sure. Now we're running. The morale has now dropped, so we've lost too many. So they're going to now leave. But we're still fighting. We are still fighting. They're still going after these larger units. Here they come. They're now going to hit our guys that have actually that's now running because it's just lost its rider. So they've come in against our guys. The morale is 30, so they're not going to run. Not until the commander runs. The commander he's 30. These are 18. Okay, that's cool. We're going to stay in this fight. It's good and bad because we're not going to leave. But these guys here are just going to stay back, and they're going to keep on sort of firing as well. So they're trying to just keep their distance. We should be able to wipe all these out because they've been struggling a bit. There we go. We've just smashed those. And we've got the blur, so it's very hard for them to hit us. Now we've done a lot of damage. We've killed all the riders on that side. Surely their morale is going. That's disease. That's interesting. Then we've got the... yep, so their morale is gone. This is just the horses on their own. These guys, their morale, they're still there, but they're going to now be needing to roll for their morale. These guys are getting very, very close now to our units. Their morale is still up. This is going to be a lot of damage done here. Now, I'm not seeing any damage at all come against our units. There we go, another big hit. Surely that's got to be enough to get their morale to turn. Nope, still not. God, when we get the fear factor, the dread, that's going to be great. But we're 12 turns away from that. We just took some damage there. So so heavy infantry hit the Warden of Avalon in the body and the spear for 4 points of damage. I won't worry too much about looking at what happened there, but it's going to be rare that actually does get through. In fact, yeah, no, we won't do that. We'll just keep on going. So just want to make sure that he's not injured in any way, which he's not, which is fine. These guys are now going to be fighting. They can't retreat any further than where they are. They're really spread out. Here we go, doing more damage with these guys. Yep, this is good. The archers are still actually hitting these as well. So they're actually they're fighting the crossbowmen. Their morale, they've dropped now, so they're gone. So they're now leaving. It looks like all of the longbowmen survived, and these guys are still in the fight. Still the commanders there. God, look at the accuracy. This is so unheard of. Like the accuracy of the precision 12 from the longbowmen is just exceptional. The combat round 12, when we did actually miss and hit into there, but no damage done. And these guys are doing a great job. That one just took a bit of damage from an arrow, and we did got a limp there. That's the commander. So the prophet has now picked up a limp, which is not good. So his map move has gone down to 8. Yeah, okay. So that's a tricky one to have our prophet unfortunately get hit. Now, what actually happened there? Yeah, longbowman hit the Warden of Avalon with a ranged attack in the head for 2 points of damage. Let's have a look and see what happened with that one. So this one here, what happened there was the longbowman was aiming for this square here, but he missed. And because of the range that he's now firing, they're firing at long range, there's like a bit of a bell curve around here, so they can go anywhere, but the precision that they've got really does make it much more likely to hit this area. But they missed and hit this one in through here, this square. It then sort of goes and figures out who's the biggest target in there. They're all equal. And so it then goes through and finds that there's a damage roll, 15. They rolled another 15, which is very, very high on the dice. The protection roll was not too bad, which meant that it was we still rolled a 10, which is good. We do have better protection than what the damage is that's coming in overall, but 2 points of damage, and the damage when it did come through was for the head. Now, if we had had a shield, that may have helped a little bit. So there's a lot in through here with what's going on. So anyway, let's just go back to number 3 again. So these should be running. Yeah, they're all now running. This one's gone, and we should. Yeah, the independent armies have now routed, and so now it's just a matter of wrapping up the battle. These guys are still in the fight. I'm a bit pissed off that that our commander actually got. There we go. The tree just got wounded. I don't think it shows there, but that was six damage. It was 20 and it's now 6. So the plant does have a chest wound. So there we go. So it does get hit. So the confirmation. These are stuck here. The fatigue is not what's got them stuck. It's the confused. Okay, that was from our magic user. This guy here, the Castellan. All right, we can quit out of there. So that was an expensive battle for us. We thought it may be. I wasn't expecting anywhere near that number of cavalry, just based on what we were seeing there. So we lost 24 of our 25 spearmen got killed. No one else did. It's just the spearmen. They're replaceable. They are replaceable. We've got the heavy cavalries. We did a lot of damage in through there. The actual kills, the Wardens of Avalon in the end did an incredible job. The longbowmen did a great job as well. So this is what we're looking at. This is great. This is great. So now, when you're new to the game, don't worry too much about trying to take a province every single turn. When you're playing multiplayer, you feel under the pressure to be able to bounce from province to province. This has been a really bad kick in the teeth for us, even though we won it. We do have retreat details. We've got one of these units tried to retreat, so I'm sure that's what it'll tell us. Yeah, a total of 1 unit's dispersed and retreated on their own. He made it back into friendly territory, which means he made it back to man. So we'll actually have essentially one of the spearmen who ran away will actually the last surviving spearman did actually make it back into our capital. So we'll have a look and see we'll just go into exit, and we have a new famous hero. So we did actually win the battle. So the Castellan, actually, if we go back and have a look, he only got 1 kill and did take a big wound himself. Got the limp. So that's a bit of a problem. Got a new famous hero. So he's actually now famous. So the stories of Kenneth's brave deeds and his heroic quickness are now told by... Now, quickness is not great for him. Quickness is great for everyone else except for magic users. I don't know if they do spells twice as... Actually, if they do spells twice as quick, it just means their fatigue goes up twice as quick as well. So I don't know if its spells are affected. I think it's actually only melee. Anyway, that's not going to matter that much. So when we go back, if we have a bit of a look at the Iron Peaks, now we did actually find a shop of strange items in here. So this is this gives us 1 glamour gem per turn when we came in here. So we found that one. Now we actually do have an area in through here. We've got wolf tribe archers, warriors, wyverns, and light cavalries in that particular location. 240 of them there. Let's have a look at the Thrones of Ascension. Throne of the Second Age, Ascension, Dominion. Yep, so that's actually a tier at level 1. The Throne of the Moon gives water and astral. The Throne of Law gives Dominion and points defense. The Throne of Twilight gives glamour. Okay, we don't know what this one is. It's not the Throne of Ice. I think otherwise we'd see ice effects in around it. Anyway, we'll find it out soon enough. Actually, that wouldn't be bad as well. Getting these would be great. Throne of Stars. Yep, no idea which one we're looking at through here. I don't know which throne that is. Sometimes you get a bit of a clue as to who's protecting it, but not so much in this case. Anyway, that's we've got the Iron Peaks. What we'll do is we'll just go and press D and just up the province defence here a little bit. To say 6 will be enough. Actually, with having the heavy cavalry, we really should at least just get a couple of those. That would just make it a little bit better. So 7 will do initially for Iron Peaks. Now if we have a look back into here, this is actually now part of our dominion. It wasn't there before. If we have a look at this one through this other side, we've got the new scout unit, so we'll just go and send him out this way. Yeah, they're both researching. Now we have this one as well, who we can get to research. Yeah, I don't know if I want to go and create a temple in here just yet. If we go into recruitment, now we can see this one has got, the reason I wanted to get this one first was because of the high resources. This has got 112 resources. Now we had 140 odd resources coming into here last time. The resources have now gone up dramatically because of this place, but the numbers don't make sense for me because I don't think we get all of those, but it sort of looks like we do, doesn't it? Like I think we were 140 last time, I think, or 139, and this one is 112. Which, if you double them, you get the resources. I actually thought it was to do with the with the fortification. The fortification has got an administration bonus of 45, so high admin value means the castle will be able to gather more resources from the neighbouring provinces and tax the province more efficiently. It also provides extra supplies. So I'm getting that one wrong. So Lord Zon is saying prayer doesn't cause fatigue, so you can make anyone a prophet. It's not that; it's the actual spell casting that they then go and do. Like they do the spell casting. So it's not doing the prayers. It's actually doing the spell casting. Jordan is saying heroic quickness plus a limp makes me think of Jimmy in South Park, fractured but whole. Yeah, that's funny. It takes 2 castles to get all the resources. It does. That's why I thought. That's why I'm surprised that we're getting everything from it. It'll still have its own resources. Well, maybe we do get it completely. But I definitely like getting that number of resources. That's a massive boost into what we're getting. Yeah, so that's it's that administration bonus. And this is actually the time to figure this one out. If you guys don't mind, I'll just have a quick look at the manual. And what is it? Resources. So resources will be too many areas for that. Is this it? How forts collect resources. The calculations of provincial forts, provincial resources can seem confusing. Oh no, it's not confusing at all. The most important thing to remember is that a province's resource pool only consists of half of that province's potential resource production as long as it has no fort. So a province will only gain the benefit of its full production when that province has a fort in it. So furthermore, once a province has a fort, the fort uses its admin value to draw resources from adjacent provinces within certain restrictions. And these are, a land fort cannot withdraw resources from an adjacent sea province, and vice versa. Forts cannot draw resources from adjacent provinces that also contain forts. This is why we don't want to put forts in around this area. And no fort can draw resources from an adjacent enemy province. Once you take these factors into account, it's relatively straightforward, no it's not, to calculate how provincial resources are affected by fort production. We follow this by an example. Okay, so we've got Ulm basically in this example. Now, this is showing 125, and this is an old example actually, so it hasn't changed. But the numbers don't add up to me. Because in Man, we're now getting 102 points more than what we had. I'm pretty sure we were 139. So that one there, it's so we're getting 102 extra resources, which should, in my calculation, it should only be 45% of what we had, I thought. Let's have a look and see what the example says. In the early spring of 5 in the Ascension Wars, Aristophale was building a fort in the province of Gaeta, back and through here. Before the fort was constructed, the province's situation looked as it does in the campaign map at this stage. Now, was it be above? Yeah, so 31. So 31 in through there. So that's actually what it had at that stage. So the province name and resources counts are listed. The black and white colours are simply for readability and have no other special meaning. Note that Gaeta had 31 resources available for use, and it is adjacent to 6 other provinces. Okay, so it then goes through after 4 months the fort was constructed. Okay, how did the province of become such a production powerhouse? First, the province produced only half of its potential resource before. So if you do build it, you double the resources. Recall that when there was no fort, so that goes up to 62. Actually, that doesn't make sense. It's able to produce its full potential of 61. No, 62. 31 times 2 is 62. Anyway, maybe the other one was halved. But this is still much less than 125. It's because the palisades have an MV value of 15, meaning it draws 15% of the resources present in each adjacent province. But if you add the resources shown in the map, they are adjacent to Gaeta, you take 15% of these, you still don't get 125. This is the case that we have. What is happening? The answer is that the admin value of the fort draws from the total potential resources of each adjacent province. Thus, okay, this makes sense. So Uric Balcor has only 46 resources available for production in its province itself, but has a full potential of 92. So when we double what we had there before, when we go to this one, which has got 112, when we have a 45, this makes perfect sense now. The fortification has got an admin bonus of 45, and so this uses the full production value of what's here in Iron Peaks, which is not 112, it's 224. So 45% of 224 is 224 divided by, times 0.45 is equal to 101. So 101. So you add the 101 onto what we had there before, and hey presto, we've got our 241. Okay, that's making sense. That is making sense. We're getting there. So I forgot about that it's actually you can actually treat it as double the amounts to see what's there. Now we get to see that these resources aren't bad at 59. That means there's another 100. We'll get another 50 odd, coming back in this way as well once we take Barn Dagor. Fenica, we don't know because we don't have Dominion in there. But this one over through here has only got 42. But this one here was great to get Iron Peaks. That one, because it had the mountains as well, this one did actually work in very, very well for us. So Prismatic Flux saying, oh God, he's got the calculator out. He's really getting into it now, yes. I've had this calculator on my desk for so long, for decades and decades. But that's what happened. That's why the number was there. Okay, that makes sense now. I'll just have a quick look and see if there's anything else in the manual. Yeah, no, that's all fine. That's all good. God, the manual's good. The manual is so damn good. It's just till Dad starts working at communion fatigue levels. Yes, I'm going to avoid that. Now we only have a small group in here, and we have a wounded commander. So Synthris. Now there may be something eventually that will fix him up. He is heroic, and so he does now have quickness. We're able to move and attack quicker in combat. So he's blurred because he's always the prophet and the god are always blessed no matter what. And so he's the prophet in through there. The quickness, the combat speed is only 6. The map move is 8. Yeah, it's not going to make much difference really there. He'll probably get 2 attacks if they get into melee attacks. So that that was good. So he's actually now gone up another level. That's going to get his morale even higher. So his morale is basic of 12. He's blessed, but the current morale, because he's the prophet, he doesn't really sort of lose much morale. Now with this group, really I can only really go back home. So I'm just going to move back home again. So we'll do that, and then we'll go after. We'll see what happens at Fenica. Let's go back into and have a look and see. This guy's the one that actually came back. Came back unscathed. You slippery character. Now we do have more cavalries here. And we do have militias, archers, and heavy infantry, but there's a lot of them there. We've got undead over here, a lot of them. Okay, let's just move you across to that side. You know, I still think, looking at what we've got, the heavy infantries are a problem, but the archers aren't, because we're building that cavalry group. Let's forget about our guys for a little while, our sacreds, and just build up the army again. We're going to need to get a front line, so let's go and get a good solid front line. So we'll just go back into recruitment. We now actually have a lot of resources. We have a lot of gold. Recruitment points are okay. God, I'd love to get a few of these, but I don't think we really can. What's the movement of these? These are combat speed 28, and these are 24, so a bit slower. That means that these are going to hit just slightly ahead if we put them all in one group. These are 20, so they're slower again. Okay, so we can get a fair few of these. We are going to need to have a front line. And I don't mind having these sort of as a bit of a front line. So I've lost count. I wanted to actually, I'll just go back and so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that's actually good. That gives me a group of three squares. I also have the other one that was left over as well. So I'll just grab 2 more of those. We're down to 20 resources. The archers did a great job. These as well, 28 resources. Let's just do that. Just get these basic ones. Actually, we do need to go and get more units in through here. So let's go with we do have gold. So let's go and get another Mother of Avalon. So our gold is actually getting right ahead here, which is fine. So we'll grab another Mother of Avalon. That sort of gets everything built in through there. Let's just press N. Everyone has actually now got instructions to do different things. So that sort of works. Now, Eardwolf, we will actually use him for other things at some point, but we don't have to do it just yet. Back in through here, we have 2 Dominion. Only 1 through there, 1 through there. We are extending further out, which allows us to then sort of see. We've only got a small amount in through here, just 20 enemy units, just archers, militias, and light infantry. So that would be, I mean, we could go that way and come back through Annika, but then Annika's going to be a hard one. No, I think we'll go back and just build everyone back up again. So, so where are we up to? So, sorry, there's Lance has dropped after the first round of combat, right? No, they still can use it. There's 2 different ways. The guys, if we go into recruitment, these guys only have the light lance, and so they don't drop this one. So this is basically with them the whole time. It becomes basically a spear. They have it's a spear that they do some damage with at the start, and then the other ones, like these guys here, do actually have the lance. And so if this weapon is used, another weapon will be skipped instead. And so essentially, this one is this weapon cannot be used for repelling. This weapon can only be used once in each battle. So this lance is then used and thrown away after it's done it. So we have the charge bonus in through here, where it's limited to half the strength of the charging unit. So we do get the bonus with that one. So that's actually something that that is important to know. What it's the strength of 12. What are these guys? They're only 12 as well. That's interesting. So anyway, that's the bonus that they actually end up getting. So it's these continue fighting as if it's a spear, but the other ones with the hash then drop the lance in through that one through there. So there we go. Can you take Bargain Decor with only 10 in there? Well, it said 20 last time. These are Horse Tribe Cavalries. Technically, yes, but I think I'm going to wait. I'm going to build up. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to play this one as if we're as if it's just for new players, and so that would be a risky move. Would be all we could really do there would be to go to the Mother of Avalon and put in. She can take 50 leadership. If we were going to do that, we'd need to go back in and take the horsemen that we have through here and have them charge down the archers. These guys do have full ring mail, iron caps, and shields, so they should technically they should be fine against what we find in that particular area, and that would be all we'd need to really take in. And but then she'd be on her own, so it's a bit risky. It's still a bit risky, and I don't want to lose her. She's having the 3 nature is really, really quite something quite exceptional. Anyway, let's just make sure we've got nothing else we have to do. We've done all of our recruitment. This location, we've put the province defence. I can technically recruit here as well. Now, getting a mounted commander is 70 gold and 10 resources. We have a lot of resources here. I can get heavy cavalry. I can even get the Ligurian cavalry here as well. You know, if we picked up one of these mounted commanders and just started to pick up these guys turn after turn. We also have the Ligurian warriors. Like having an area where we do actually have such a high amount, actually the recruitment points end up failing. But that's actually not bad. We get these guys. I mean, the heavy cavalry would be great, but that's even more. So we can actually get these next turn as well with these, and then have them combine to then go into the next attack. I like this actually. That works out very, very well. What did the magic shop do? Is it new? It's a site in the mountains. Yeah, that was the magic one here is a new thing, but all it really does do is just give us glamour gems, because everything to do with glamour has now had to be either new or changed. So it just produces one glamour gem per turn. So we're now getting +3 nature and +3 glamour, which is great. That's good. So we'll keep that one where that is. He'll now stumble back home. We will end our turn here. A few battles going on around the map. So we're only playing on normal mode, so we don't have to do battles all the time. Research and construction is now completed. So we're now up to level 1, which I think then means that we have access. If we just go back into, well, here's a double glamour. If we go into Forge Magic Item, we do now have trinkets. So we've got a snake ring. Let's have a look and see what else we have. Hardwood club. None of those. We do actually have a raw iron shield. We don't need those. There's nothing really much in here. We do have the boots of long stride. Map move of +6. For Limpy, we could actually get him one of these. Swiftness of 100, so bonus to combat movement speed as well. Soft boots are made of skin and unbored calves. It would that would overcome his limp. What do you reckon, guys? Do we buy him a pair of soft boots? Just let me know in the chat, yes or no. It's only 1 gem. What else do we have? We've got the silent boots as well. This gives stealth. We don't need that. The snake ring just gives us poison touch and poison resistance. We don't need that either, and we don't have any bardings. So nope is. But there is a whole new glamour magic type now. So we don't know what that was. Oh, that was actually answering. A long limp. So we can get him. We can get him a pair of long strides to overcome the limp. So I'm tempted to do it. If you guys don't say yes or no, I'm just going to go with it. I'll give you a couple more seconds. I'll just get myself a drink of water. Do it, says Quanch. Okay, well, I'll just come back and see if anyone says no. They fought well to get all of those. There we go. There's a yes. Yeah, we've got yeses. Great. Mobility scooter for quickness. This is Curry Muncher. Great, we'll do it. So the boots of long stride, let's grab it. That's going to that's not going to diminish his limp. It's just going to allow him to move around on the map a little bit faster than what he normally would. So that's a good thing for us to do. So he's back in there. He's still defending. Now, we have to be where there's a lab for him to then pick up those different bits and pieces. So he's now going to be heading off in the next round to go elsewhere. So she's forging the boots. They're all doing research. He's now ready to go off and do the next attack, which can be either one of these. 100 enemy units, so it's deviating a fair bit. Again, militias, archers, and heavy infantry, but we are set up. This one's now up to 30, so we're getting somewhere in around 20 for these, for the Mani Horse Tribe cavalries. Let's just go to N. Actually, one thing, did I set up the preferences? Yeah, I've got worn on intern, that's fine, that's good. I just want to make sure I had that one. But I've put these numbers on as well, so we can see the how much they do move. Well, let's keep on having a bit of a look and see who our neighbours are. So we'll move down this way. Now we do actually have rivers through there. We can get across to Mammoth Grove, so we can get into that one. So we can't get to there, but I can go this way as well. The Shade Forest is actually fairly good. Land of 7 years. This one here, we've got these are Jaguar Tribe Warriors and Slingers. Okay, that's not too bad. They've only got the one really big potential death area. We can't get it back across there. We'll just keep on going this way. But we do get to see the resources, 43 there, 42. The fact that this has got so much resources, this one makes this one viable as a castle. So I think we might aim for this one fairly soon. We can do a lot there. Anyway, we're going to go and tackle this. So we've got ourselves this commander. It's only got up to 2 squads. I don't need to have the horses doing anything too tricky. So what we're going to do is we're going to tackle this one, which is mainly horse tribe cavalries. And so we're going to go in with this group. So we'll just press T. You go in with your collection. And just move them in. So they'll attack. And we'll just go into T in here as well. So we need to have our new front line. And our person from before will then be in there. That's now 18 units. Now, I like to have these in because we know that we can have 3 per square. That gives me the best. We don't have any stragglers on the end, and so it means that technically we should end up with a line of 6, so 6 squares wide. We also have these. Again, I'm just going to keep them where they are, but this one here, line formation, so that's 6 wide in the front. We know that we can now go back and hold and then attack the closest enemies. So let's just do that one. Hold and attack. It'll hold there for 2 turns, which means it won't move. We've still got these guys back in through here. That's actually good where they are. So that's going to work. We'll just go and quit out of that or escape. We still have these as well. Now, we've got the bodyguard units don't count as actual fighters, even though they did an incredible job there at the end of that last battle. So I can still throw them in as a group. That now gives me my 3 out of 3. And we're still getting our +1 morale. And we can still get these guys to then join in. Now, these don't matter so much, having them not because we hope that these aren't going to be in the actual combat themselves. But that's 23 units. I could make them a line, but then they're going to fall out the outside edge. Now, what I'm going to do through here is I'm going to go and grab the cavalry. I'm going to have these. We need to chase down. In this case, we want to be charging in and doing as much damage as we can against the enemy. So I'm just going to go and charge the closest enemy. So box formation. I can make it into a line or something if I wanted to, but box will be fine for what these are going to do. These are just going to go and attack the closest enemy. Now, I'm going to change this. I have to try to remember to change this one after this. Just go and press exit. Now, that's that one scripted. And they're going in to here. Now, we need to coordinate this attack. So I'm just going to go to Beyond Dagor. If you go and look at the question mark, we want to now use this Y command. View units going into the current province. And so this one then allows me to coordinate the attack. So I go to Y. And so we now have these guys all set up like this. We want to have this group on the other flank. Now, one of the problems we're going to have with this is that these have got less than 4. These have got less than 4 units. Sorry, they've got 4 or less units, or less than 5 units in the group, which means that they technically will be testing morale every turn. And so I don't really want, if they take any damage, they will test for morale, and they could run. So I want to do these ones a bit differently. I want these to come in after the combat is sort of done. So I'm going to go and set these up further back until we can sort of put these all together. So just be aware of that. If you've got less than 5, be really, really cautious of it. It's going to be hard. So I'm just going to leave them over on the flank and give them an order to attack as well. Attack closest enemy. But if they take any damage at all, they'll then start testing morale. So that's actually a problem because there's only 4 of them. But that's the way it has to be. So these guys will then be coming in. Now the commander here will... I think I'll just have him also attack closest enemy. And I'm going to put him in with this particular group. So he'll actually go in with the group. He'll just be in behind it. Okay, so that's our scripting. It's great to do this because you then see everything that's going into the battle. It's a great way to actually test the battle. So, okay, so if you use them as bodyguards, they ignore the small... great idea, great idea. Can we do that with that? This one's got a... yeah, we should be able to do it. Guard commander. Perfect. Perfect, okay. Attack closest. So these are just the bodyguard of that commander. The commander's going to go in. But we'll still leave him staggered back so that the other 6 actually hit first. So 6 units, and then we've got these. Oh, great idea! That was awesome. Thanks, Twin Linked. So by doing it that way, they don't actually that limitation doesn't count. So that's actually they're just now a bodyguard unit, which has got a different set of rules. Yep. So I'll just go exit. Okay. So in this one, now we know that this one has got pretty good resources as well. So this is going to make us. This is going to make man really good. Even the income here is not bad because of the river. The river's actually helping into that lake. All right, so we've got those. I think that's all we need to do. Just press N. Yeah, everyone's now moved. Let's end the turn here. Battle in let's have a look at this battle. Now it does remember, I'm just going to put it on to slow-mo. So what we have through here is these should start to attack soon with what they're doing. They're not moving yet though, they may be waiting for that commander. I've got Divine Blessing coming in against for these units. This group is charging in, and there's a lot of these, but these are all, I think got a light lance and a short bow. Okay, we're going to get smashed here. There's a lot of them actually, a lot more than we thought. So yeah, there's heaps of them. It's not 10. 10. Who said 10 in the chat? Now they've got now their accuracy is likely to be quite low. Precision is 9. Yeah, so they're going to be all over the place. Yeah, we did actually get hit. We did get hit. There's a lot of them. That's the thing. See how many? They've got 12 ammunition. Yeah, they'll be trying to do that. Now, as we get closer, they're going to become more accurate. Here they come. Now, ours are much better armoured. Like we've got protection of average of 12. We do have a shield. These guys are already taking damage. They've got leather armour. So their protection is way, way lower than ours. Now we should see this squad run very, very quickly. Here we go. Our commander just took a hit. The horse, yeah, took a big hit. It's down to 7 points, the riding horse. There we go. Come on, run, 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 run. Their morale is low. Their morale is, they've got the home province bonus, but the, and they've got a squad bonus of -1. Their base morale was 11. But they're in hostile dominion, plus the leadership is poor with their units. Now, who's that? Who's on the ground there? That's a war horse from man. So one of our guys has lost his horse. I didn't see that one. Maybe he's dead. Oh, that's him there. No, they're all okay. Someone died, but these are taking damage. They should be running very, very soon. There we go. Just killed another horse. Taking damage. Lost a horse there, lost another horse. There's our commander without a horse. You get your horse back if you win the battle. Just stay in the battle. Now these are running. Okay, they've now given up. So their morale is now shot. Let's continue on. So we're now doing some damage to these. So they're taking a lot of damage with the archers. These guys will now all head over. So let's have a quick look and see how we're going. Morale is good, even though we've lost the horses. Here comes the not the cavalry, here comes the non-cavalry, making their way down. But we did chase it down. And morale is still okay. Now we go across and sort these guys out. On foot, but still doing very, very well here. Yeah, they're going to run. How do we go? How do we go? Now, to fix up the things like the horses and stuff, we have to be in a place where there's enough... I think we have... This is the way it works. Yeah, we're taking damage everywhere, but we are doing damage to them. They should be running very, very soon. I think to get the horses, we have to have enough resources in the province that we end up in to be able to then go and get them. There we go. Come on, run, you mongrels. The morale is very, very low, but this one's got battle fright, so he'll be putting pressure on the rest of them. That one's got a limp and battle fright as well. Is that the same? No, that one's different again. So still got morale of 10. So they're still technically in the fight. This horse should have gone. Yeah, the horse wants to leave. Just got smashed. Oh, our archer just hit one of our guys for 15 points. Where was it? It was a different one there somewhere. Anyway, this is much better. At least we didn't lose too many units. Look at this commander go. Wow, what an absolute hero. Iphias, the mounted commander. What an amazing job he's done. He's lost a couple of hit points. Actually, one thing you can do here, if you want to think, okay, what's he done? Just press V. So this is all the this is his battle. So he missed the horse tribe cavalry. So there was we got repel value, but then he got past the repel when he actually first came in. But then there was a he didn't actually manage to hit. The 2 hit didn't actually work. He was then, so Iphias, the mounted commander, falls off his mount for 2 points of damage. There's his 2 points of damage. So he got his 2 points falling off the horse. So that was when the horse would have been shot out from underneath him. Then we've got the mounted commander hit the horse tribe cavalry in the head with a broadsword for 6 points of damage. The target was then killed, so that was good. That was cool. He's on the ground at this stage, so it just goes through the rolls. They then hit him with a ranged attack with a short bow in the leg for 0 points of damage, so he didn't get through his armour. So he rolled, even though they rolled really poorly this time, and he rolled really, really well with a random number. He misses the horse tribe cavalry, so again got past the repel, but couldn't get past the defence roll. The horse tribe cavalry again got hit with a ranged attack with a short bow in the body. Again, he rolled really, really well to make up for the difference through there. So 0 points of damage, and then we have the mounted commander missed the horse tribe cavalry. Yep, so there we go, and he's now hit the armoured step horse in the leg with a broadsword for 5 points of damage. So he sort of made it through there. So he's going crazy here on the ground. He's done extremely well. I love seeing this. Now our archers are actually doing a lot of damage to our guys now. Yeah, we just got taken out. Longbowman hit a long spear with a ranged attack in the body. So we're actually, because we're firing from so far back, this is now very, very dangerous for our units. That was good, but it's not bad. Here we go. They've now run, and yeah, God, it's dangerous with all these arrows coming in. Okay, so the independent armies are now routed. We can now quit out and have a look and see what actually happened there. Now, the mounted commander, you can see there he lost his mount. He's okay, but he lost his mount. Now, the Logarian cavalries, the 2 of the mounts got killed. So one Logarian cavalry got killed with but 2 mounts. So we need to get these back. I'll have to have a look and see what happens here. This could be quite interesting. Longbowmen did 14 kills. That was actually good. The Longspears did 3. The cavalries did 9, which is good as well. And the commander did 2, which is actually punching above his weight, particularly since he fell off his horse at the start of the battle. That's pretty cool, actually. A lot of friendly fire, wasn't there, really, when you look at it. Horse tribe cavalries, 16 horse tribe cavalries. In addition, 2 lost their mounts. So yeah, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be to be honest. When I saw how many there were, I was expecting a lot more. But we did need to close the gap to try to sort of get them fighting, just so they couldn't just use their archery. Although, to be honest, they would have gone probably against the only thing they could have actually hit would have been the spearmen. Yeah, we would have lost a few more spearmen. That's okay. Anyway, that's fine. So 2 riders without mounts have made their way back to home and are ready. So 2 riders without mounts have made their way back. That's these. So yeah, there was one. So there was actually three horses in total got killed, and one of these. So there was two of the actual guys. So they make it back home, or make it So they make it back home and are ready to go. That's an interesting mechanic as well. If we haven't seen that before. So this is, if we just go back and press T, It didn't work. Or maybe they think it's home in here. Yeah, okay. It's just he's got his horse back, basically, so he's okay. They can all now go in there together. This guy's now just a defender. He's just a commander. He's supposed to be a mounted commander, but he didn't get his horse back. So he doesn't have a horse. If I just press W, none of those are wounded. Just press enter. None of those will be wounded. None of those. What about these? You've got one that's wounded. This one has got a never healing wound, so just his hit points will be down. That's okay. Just press enter there. Okay, so yeah, so he is without his horse. All right, so we'll have to send him back home. So we've got Barn Dagor. Now we actually end up with another 50 odd points into here. So our resources are now coming up extremely high, which means we could probably start to sort of get more of the other units. Back in through here, if I just press T, I mustn't have selected. Yeah, I didn't actually. I forgot to recruit last turn, which is not good. Completely forgot. Now, if we go, I don't want to go back home. What we'll do is we'll take the boots with us, and I've got no one to really bring the battle forward. Into Fenica. Now this one here, we've only got 30 enemy units. It does have some heavy cavalry which we can cope with. Let's just go back into this one, get this guy to go back. And I forgot to recruit in here as well. One partial unit available at half cost. So we'll grab that one. I'll just get a few of these. Like they were fairly useful. Yep, that'll be fine. You've got the look. Like, you don't need those slingers. I'll just go and start picking that up on a regular basis. What can we recruit in here? Again, we can get more of them in here. We've got 63 resources. We can pick up a commander here. Actually, what do they have? Monks and Ligurian wise men, which is not really something we need. Actually, they do have... This is actually how we get into Earth. It's the only way we have of getting into Earth, actually, at this stage. I get 3 of them. Might as well pick them up on the way through. We might as well just get like a big swathe of those. Back at home, just go back into here. So we do have a lot of... That was a mistake, not getting what we needed there. This one here, the Knight Commander. Or these at this stage, Lord Wardens. We can definitely go and get maybe just another Mother of Avalon at this stage. And we can pick up, well, that's the most we can get with the holy points. It's just 6 at this stage, because this one's also holy, sacred. So we can get 6 of those per turn. Now we've lost, we do have a little bit of Ligurian cavalry. Now it means we're going to have to go back as well. Maybe we don't get that one. These are still 2 commander points. If I go that way, it allows me to then bring another good group in. Or we go and bring one of these in. Actually, these are only 1 commander point. Oh, easy, that's easy done in that case. We just do that. That gets us to 0 resources. We do end up with a Lord Warden who is also sacred. And so he can start to look after these guys. That will work. That will be good. It will be very, very good. Someone find a commander a horse. Yes, we need to have that happen. I don't know if he'll pick it up. Anyway, he's without his horse at the moment. I'm not sure how we get the horse back. Actually, can we even do that? Oh, reacquire mount. Acquire a new mount to replace the lost one. This command does not cost any resources, but it's going to take a turn for him to do that one. So actually, that's so detailed, isn't it? I'm going to move him back. because we want him to come back again. Or, yeah, no, we're going to be wanting to, this group here, with what we're bringing in, we can actually go into here now with this main army. We send him back there to pick up the other bits and pieces, get his mount, go for another turn of recruiting in there, another turn of recruiting in here. Or do we even need that one? Archers, militias, and light infantries. And then we could possibly even charge this down with that commander. Let's just do that. The guys in here, so this one here will just go back to doing more research. And then we've just got to remember to bring the boots along for the commander when we do this attack on Fenica. So we'll do Fenica next after this. We won't be using these knights, but we have a bunch of them in through this other side. So let's just go back in now and just go to Y. So we've still got the commander guards in through this other side. We've got these in through here. Now we're going to be holding an attack. I'm going to actually set these ones now back on the flank, and we're going to tell them to attack rearmost enemies. I might even hold and attack rearmost enemies. And see how that goes. So I'll just move them forward a little bit, just up into there. So that should be interesting. So we're going up against a group of, well, there are archers, aren't there, in this one? No, it's just heavy infantry. That's heavy infantry, heavy cavalries. Yeah, no, we should be okay. We should be okay. So so we'll just do what we do. I think this will actually work out okay. So we'll go there. We'll just go next. So these are still making their way across the map. Next again, this one here, we can't get across there. I'll go to the Shade Forest. Okay, that's fine. So we're exposing the map now. And we've done our research. That's the important, sorry, yeah, we've done our recruitment. That's the important thing. Wish there was a little button or little icon that showed you where you've done recruitment. That would be so handy. I might suggest that actually as a suggestion. What have they got? They've got 2 days to put that in the game. I think that would be cool. Just so that you know, yep, recruitment has been done. Or if there's, what it should be, maybe there's something where the actual, is there a way to do that? Let's have a quick look and see. If we just go back into the map filters, what it needs is actually something that indicates not so much these other bits. If we go to the income box and just have a look, now that there is the recruitment levels in there. And if we have a look at this, we can now, that immediately shows us that this is, that recruitment is, has been used up. We've only used, actually what have we done through here? If we just go across, but we can see by having a black line through there that we are doing recruitment. And and also we're seeing the hammers. So we're using up all of the resources available. Okay, this is a much better way to do it. So I'm going to start using this as my default look from now on, because that way if we glance at these, we can then see, if we see the line through there, it means we're using recruitment. To have a quick look at that one. So for example, in this one here, if we go back into recruitment, we still actually have, actually no, recruitment points are 0. -2. It doesn't make sense, does it? I'm not sure. We'll see what happens at the start of the next next one. So Battle in Annika, let's have a look and see what this one looks like. Just see if our scripting is getting better, our positioning. You can see we're not on the edge of the battle there. Here comes the heavy cavalry. So we stay where we are and just do damage. Yeah, that was good. We took a bit of damage. Here he goes. He's on his lonesome. And these guys are actually going to hit our heavy cavalry. But 2 of them got it through, which is not great. But they will go after those commanders. So these are going to run. So we're doing okay in here. Bit of friendly fire, didn't hurt anyone. Are they running yet? Nope. And we are losing this a bit. Again, there was more in here than what we thought. These are fine. They're actually hitting these commanders. He's taken some damage and he's down. One more commander to get. That's all we have to get. They're running. These are doing fairly well, the heavy infantry. God, there's a lot more here than we thought. They should be running very, very soon. Our guys are just chasing everyone else down now. Okay, we've lost a lot of these units. And they're running. Come on, guys. Come on. God, we've lost heaps. We have a few cavalry, but we've lost a lot of the cavalry now. They're running as well. So the independent armies are routed. We're going to be losing. Our troops will disappear off the map before they do. We won, but not awesomely. So we'll just quit out of that one. And so we do have retreats, unfortunately, and we've got it's going to be a tricky one to get some of these back. So we lost 9 long spears, and we lost 4 of our 7 Logrian cavalries. There's a lot more in here. There was 31. We thought there was 10, so that was actually not good. I think we thought there was 10 in here, and yeah, so they've all lost that one. Let's have a look at the retreat details. 6 units dispersed and retreated on their own. 3 of them made it back to friendly territory, so we did lose 3. So we do have 3 of them. Just exit this one. Now, we were wanting to... Yeah, so this has now not been used, so we can just glance at these. This is a good way to just see if we've done what we have to do. Now, this needs to reacquire his mount. We'll just go back into here again and just pick up more of these. Yeah, I can't get any more. See, that's not accurate. That's actually not accurate. The resources, are the resources accurate? Yeah, the resources are, but the recruitment points aren't. That's wildly inaccurate. Go back into recruitment in here. Get another 3 of those. This group in here, we don't have very many left. And we were wanting to go into here now. There's really nothing we can do with this. It's too much for us. We're going to have to bide our time. Now, the other thing we can do here is to we've got a lot in our treasury. This location is actually a good location for another castle. Right in here, we're 2 away from there. We're going to be sharing this area. We're going to get that. We're going to get all of this. Ultimately, will then be added into this particular castle. So what we can do is we can just waste a turn in here to construct a palisades. It's 1,000, at least 102. Recruit a unit. So we'll just go back into recruitment. This one's 70 to get another one of these in here. Let's do that, I think. I don't think we can bring anyone else in cheaply. Yeah, no, not going to be able to. So I'll do that so he can then take over the building. So we'll just go back into recruitment, bring that one in. It means we're not going to do any recruitment this turn. But what that will do is it will mean that we could, instead of waiting for this mount, because we're now down to 42 treasury, which is not going to be all that helpful. If we have a look, we can probably get a few of these. God, do we want to do that? I think we do. I think we do. All right, so we've got those done. If we don't reacquire the mount, I can then take everything from here. Like there's only 5. You know, we'll reacquire the mount and bring that one through as well. We'll bring that one. So we're going to have 2 turns. which means we're not really recruiting anything else in through here. So that one's just going to be defending for a turn. You can make it to there. Actually, this is a sneak one anyway. I'll leave it. Leave them where they are. Leave this one where he is. Although technically, I could still move him out to there as well to pick up the troops from there. I might do that actually. We'll move him out, and then we'll start to sort of operate these. So it's not very efficient the way that we're doing this one, but we do want to get Fennica because there will be a lot of gold from there. Yeah, income is 210. That's a lot. So we definitely want to have that. The resources aren't worth much. But yeah, this one here is going to be good with getting another castle in there. So that'll be awesome actually. That'll work out nicely, and then we'll ultimately end up with another castle over here. So that will still, and then we can end up with another one over here ultimately. So we'll end up with a nice area in around us. So this will be the sort of start of where we go in the middle of the map. Just go next. Winfrith, back in through this other side. We'll just keep on. Might have just have a bit of a look. There's another bridge there. We'll just see who our neighbour is up in this way. I'll just leave that one where that is. Just go and patrol province or something like that for now. Yep, that'll do. And we want to just keep on edging our way through, just exposing more of the map. And we haven't found any entrances to go down underneath yet. So there's no cavern entrances anywhere near us, which is okay. I was actually hoping for more forest, to be honest, so we can sort of get more, potential to get more nature gems. We may still get them in the swamps. Everyone's now moved. We've got no more treasury. That's all looking pretty good. So we can just get ready for this attack in here. Okay, so Lord Zon is saying if you hold shift when you click a unit, it recruits all you can. Okay, yeah, that's cool. I forgot about that. Hammers are resources, not recruitment. The hammers are, but this is the recruitment. That's the recruitment there. And when we have a look at this area through here, for example, and look at recruitment, we only have 10 more recruitment points left. We used up all of the recruitment from here. It should be showing a lot more. So yeah, that recruitment level there does not equate. We can't rely on it with what it's showing, so I don't think it's accurate. So Lord's on saying the maps look really nice now. It's for me, I'd still prefer it to be a little bit different. I sort of prefer. Yeah, I do have a different preference in the maps. I was wondering if there was a way that we could actually get in the middle of the way these are created, but you can't at this stage. That's why I'm really looking forward to. Shift is Q 10 minutes if you can bang them out fast like that. Is it shift? I thought they. Yeah, okay, so it's just 10 at a time. Too bad the river in the west of you doesn't extend all the way to the south of the swamps. Yes. Anyway, that'll be fine. We'll keep that one going. We've got the. I think we've done everything we need to do this turn. So we're back into autumn. We're coming towards winter now. So we're halfway through the year. Now nothing happened. Messages, nothing. Exit. Now we are starting to build the palisades. I'm now going to change this one to construct the building and take over the palisades. So we're just going to go with this one. We're going to actually I can still leave that one doing what it's doing for a turn. This one now, the commander, if we go back into T and grab these guys, they can all be with the commander this time. So we've now got a bigger group of these, which is nice. We want them to come into this area. Can they reach there? They can actually reach there in one go. All right, that's what we'll do. So we'll do the attack now. So they can actually, because they're their map movement, they can go through the through this area and into this area all in one go across that bridge. This group picks up all of these and these. We put them in as guard commander, and then he's got another group of 6 going in as well. And so he can actually bring them across. So they go in. Back in here, we go into the groups. Oops, not recruitment. Go into this. We've got these. Now, that one has got a leadership of, it can take 3 squads as well, so that's actually good. And that's good. So we've got just enough on those, not so much with this, but it won't matter that much. So these squads will then come in as well. Now, before we do it, we need to go back in, and you need to be wearing, we need to be taking in the boots of long strides. So the boots of long strides will now be taken into combat with this particular guy. And so he'll actually end up being a bit too fast, so we'll have to script that accordingly. They're all good. Just exit that one. We need to get a few more researchers as well. So we'll actually go through. It's good that she's still active with what's going on there. I'm almost tempted to get her to start site searching, but she is really good at what she does do. This gives us all 3. God, it's hard because she is actually, she's got 23. Compare that to 15. So we lose 10. I think we should do it though. And now new in this is also automatic site searching. So search magic sites auto is good. Also, it's good that it's grayed back that you can't search in your home province. So it won't allow you to do it where it's not going to work, which is actually great. So she'll go off an auto search. Now, one thing we do need to do is go back into province defense. Just get a few of those. Defense. Get those as well. All right, so this is important. Now, we are going to send these into this area, and we're going to then have this one take over, continue the fort construction. So he's just going to continue building the palisade. Yep, they're all done. He's now going to come in with his force, but that's not sneaky. That's okay. That's moving because he's got normal troops. And back in here, we just go back to recruitment, and we'll go with another. We've got 705. I think I'll start to get Daughters of Avalon now. So we'll pick up one of those. Do we start to get these now? We've got 90 gold, 66. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we can get. We can start getting 5 of these. So it's 190 at the end of this one. So we'll start to pick up these guys because we want to have a big group of those ready for when our god arrives. So we've done pretty well so far, not losing any of our sacreds, but we've had a couple of turns when we haven't been able to actually get any sacreds. So now we'll just do our trick of having a look at everyone that's coming in. So this is fire closest. Now we don't have anyone really to sit in the front of this particular group. We're going to have to put some of the others in front there. So these are going to have to go back a little bit. So to maybe in around here somewhere. Put the wardens there in line formation. And they're just going to have to go hold and attack closest enemy. The cavalry that we have back over through here, we need to get his cavalry across there. So we'll just go back through. So we've got those. Now these are only down to 3. So I'm going to set this guard commander. Hold and attack rear. Let's just move them right back because they're going to be a pain in the arse. So we'll just move, because they've only got 3 of them, they're going to be like as soon as they take any damage, that's going to be an issue. So we'll have them come back in later. All of these others are actually pretty good, and so this one here, we'll just go and move that in with the commander, and attack closest. And in this case, we want to change what's coming into this one here. We do have archers in here, so we need to give these ones battle orders to attack enemy archers. So that's what we want to do with these units. We want to get rid of the archers fairly quickly, and he will also be the same. And this will be attack enemy archers. So he'll go in with his group. We'll just go back to just exit out of that one. So that's good. Guard commander for this particular unit. Now he can go towards the front, like we can sort of have him off to the side here somewhere with his guys. That would be okay. Now we've got enough units in here to go from the other flank, so we'll set them up back this way and exit. And the battle orders here will be attack archers. So they'll come in from two different angles. Hold and attack rear, that'll be okay, but that's going to be a long, long way back. So we've got those in position, they're in position. Who's back in here? Who is that group? That one there. This is this group. I'm going to give these an order to attack rearmost. In fact, I'll do it from over here. And that was, yep, that was, actually that was attack archers. Hold and attack rear. I did the wrong ones. Attack archers there. For that group on that flank. Attack archers there. We want to have this one actually go further behind. And so this one will be attack rearmost enemies. And so we'll see if we can get to the commanders with that group. So we'll see if we can use all of these Logrian horses to actually do the damage. You can use the wardens as for front lining, I think. Yeah, I'm going to be doing that. They're the only ones I've actually got that can actually sit in the front. So they're just going to have to do that. And then they should be okay because we're not expecting much to actually hit that front line. But they are on hold and attack closest with their little line in the front. Okay, so that should be enough. Yeah, we've done all of our recruitment. We do have a bit of money. These have been good, I've got to say. I wonder if we don't just put that on repeat for a little while, just getting into with a big group of them. I won't bother getting them from here anymore. Okay, so here we go. We're going up against 100 enemy odd units, probably a bit more than 100. We've got militias, a lot of archers, and heavy infantry. So the militias and heavy infantry should be drawn forward. The archers should stay back a little bit. We'll be hitting them pretty hard. Now, actually, yeah, I'll just go, actually, what are our archers doing? Fire closest and keep distance. Yeah, that's okay. We'll keep that there. So they'll actually attack, these ones will attack the militia and the heavy infantries. So that'll do us. Let's go for it and see how this one actually looks. End our turn here. Oh, hang on, cancel. Next, we've got this one here. So, okay, we're coming into frost territory. Let's go and cross the bridge. There'll be someone in around here somewhere. And this one as well, we'll just move across this way. So a lot of death and destruction through the middle here. This will be an interesting battle. This is an important battle for us. So 2 units who have lost their mounts have deserted or died on their way. Okay, so that's not bad. That's not good. So we do actually have a problem. That's an indication that something went badly wrong. So Celeria is the other one. Okay, let's have a look and view the battle. Do we win this one? Let's just pause it there for a second. So we've got our cavalry charging in. We certainly have not much in the middle there. And we have a massive amount. And the archers are all on this side. These guys are going to get in the way of these guys, I think, unfortunately. So we only have a small amount. We'll get through into the archers. Okay, let's see what actually happens here. Oh, the weather. F2. So it's raining. So any clouds will expire faster. And Fire Magic has got a plus 50% fatigue cost. There's still daylight. This is Tremaine the Green's Dominions, which is fine. Come on, do damage, do damage. We need kills. Make it past. Okay, most of them made it past, or some of them made it past, which is good. So we'll get rid of the archers quickly. There's our good old commander again. He's still actually active and he's doing well. Let's see these guys. In fact, some of I think the ones that got through were attacking the rear. These guys are in the middle here. They haven't lost anything. Now, are these running? Yeah, they've lost morale. What about our guys that were at the back? I don't know who's going. That one's okay. Everyone looks to be okay, don't they? Morale is up. We're doing well. Our commander, how is our commander going? He's actually still got his horse. So he's doing well. Mounted commander. And he's experienced, so he's doing very, very well, thank you. These guys are still on their way through. These guys are retreating away from them. They're now retreating, that's good. I think that's it. That should be it. Okay, well, based on what it was saying, I thought we were going to have trouble there, but our wardens have done very, very well. Looks like he might be wounded. No, he's okay. He's fine, he's fine. That's good. Quit and have a look at the what actually happened there. So we lost, okay, we did lose a couple of low green cavalries. It says that yeah, we lost 5 horses in total and 2 of the actual cavalrymen, but the others then didn't make it back out. So 2 of the cavalries were killed. In addition, 3 units lost their mounts as well. So of those that lost their mounts, it looks like only 1 of them got back somewhere. So we'll just so that's all we had. So of the 2, yeah, 2 units have lost their mounts and have deserted or died on their way back. 2 riders without mounts have made their way back home and are ready to be recruited again. So that's actually, yeah, so 2 of them didn't make their way back. So new famous hero, that's this is actually, well, so he should be. Iphias' brave deeds and his unbreakable skin are now told by bards and storytellers all over the world. Well, so that was absolutely must happen. He was incredible. So there we go. So that's actually that one through there. That gives us this province with a lot of income. So we're getting a lot of income from that one. Not very many resources, but it will feed into these other areas. So we now have the start of what we wanted. Let's just go back across, and we're going to give this one across to Sinithrith. So he then gets rid of that. That gets him his special boots to help him with his map moves. So he's back, even though he's limping, he's actually back to being fully functional because of the boots. If we have a look at the combat speed, so basic combat speed is 12. Armor encumbrance brings it down anyway, and then the heroic ability takes it up by 72% because he's now got quickness. The swiftness gives him another 100%. We then halve everything because he's limping. Gives him a current combat speed of where he started. I love that. I love that. Oh, thanks for the super chat there, Lord Zon. I didn't even see that. So so thank you for that. Very much appreciated. It's unbelievable. I love this game. It's just so detailed. When you scratch the surface and actually really look at it, it's pretty amazing. This one's actually got heroic ability plus experience, and the other commander through here has also now got the same thing, heroic ability. And so his heroic ability is going to be increased protection. So if we have a look at his protection, it's got heroic ability gives him a +3 bonus to all of his actual protection. So he'll survive a little bit longer than what would be normal. But he's been great. He's been in the middle of everything. He did well in that particular one. He's got no issues. His horse is fine. Everything's great. So well done him. And that was good. We actually did manage to take this one and just go back into D for get our point defense and get this one up now. So just get a handful of these guys. So that's going to help enormously with our money. We still don't have a front line, unfortunately. This province contains about 110 enemy units, mainly militias, heavy infantry and light infantry. So this one again should be fairly easy for us with what we're doing. Now we're doing the site searching back over here. So it's saying, yeah, Battleman saying, man, and Net of Anger are hard to use. I don't know. Like I enjoyed it when I started playing with them. Actually, I did really quite like it. They were interesting. So they were yeah, different. They were a bit different, but yeah, it's hard because they don't have any spearmen. I found, so you couldn't take them into that sort of into any cavalry battles easily. So still building the palisades. He'll just do that for a few more turns. Nothing else being built through there. We will just keep on. She's just doing the auto site searching from that one through there. I'm just looking at the time, guys. I'm probably going to have to call it quits here, I think. So I'll be back again tomorrow. I don't know what time, but Yeah, I'm not sure what time I'll be streaming on YouTube again tomorrow, but I'll continue this one on. This has been good fun. It certainly has been a, we've certainly we're moving through now, which is great. I'll just get this one to go back in and just do, what is it, Forge Magic? Actually, yeah, so that's auto if we did that one. I like this as well because that never used to be the case. It would always show up. So we'll just go back into research. And tomorrow when we pick it up, we'll then come back through and grab the, we'll sort of start the recruitment and everything in through here again as well. So I like this. I think this is broken. I will actually report that. It would be cool if there was an indicator as well as to whether you've actually used up the, whether you've done recruitment. That would be quite cool. So anyway, guys, we'll actually leave it there. And thanks for your time. And I will be back, as I say, tomorrow. I'll have more videos releasing tomorrow as well. So I've got, I think I've got one more of the, I've got 17 of the tutorial series that I've recorded. So I'll start to just drip feed them over the coming days and weeks.